Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Guys, a lot is going on. You need to know, Vinny just got here. We're in Vegas. He went to, was it Dre's? Where were you? Were you at Dre's?
Yes.
Dragging Adam out of the club. Adam still hasn't slept. He's hammered. He smells like tequila.
Disgusting.
And vodka and a few other smells. We don't want to get into it.
But I
It's
got coffee. I got coffee. I'm okay.
But he got his coffee. He got everybody here working for him, getting him coffee, tea, napkins, back
Diva.
rub.
Total diva
The
needs
biggest
coffee.
diva that you got. But anyways, it's good to be with you
And
guys.
I drew the short straw.
Out of
I have to
Vegas,
sit next
a
to
lot is going on. A lot is going on. A lot is going on that we will be talking about. Just a few minutes ago, I think they just subpoenaed a bunch of people from Epstein.
Weird.
Clinton's,
Bill,
Comey,
Slick
a
Willie.
bunch of people that we'll talk about here momentarily. Bari Weiss asked for $250 million for her media company, and Sagar from their show comes out, calls it out, and I got some thoughts on it. And I know Tom does as well on what's going on there, what is really going on. The claims made, is this really another leg for Israel, for them to pick up? Who knows? We got some commentary. There's some stuff going on with Tucker as well, with Laura Loomer. Tucker and Candace did a podcast, and then Nick had said something about, I think, the CIA stuff that came out with some of the pictures. We'll get into that as well. Aside from that, Trump moves nuclear submarines after ex-Russia president's menacing tweet. So can you imagine? You make a comment. What did you say? Get close right there. Be ready. If they say something like that again, Trump moved very swiftly. Obama FBI ignored early indications of Clinton's cooking up 2016 Russia collusion hoax. U.S. birth rate, folks, hit an all-time low. CDC data shows. Matter of fact, it hit so low that if all of you guys agree to get off the podcast right now and not watch just to make babies, I would be okay with it. That's how bad the numbers hit right now. We're deeply concerned about it. Hopefully by the end of the podcast, you'll be encouraged to go make some babies. We got to get that number to be above 2.1. We had 4 of them. Every day I try to convince my wife to go for 20 kids. As good as I'm in sales, I'm failing on a daily basis, but we'll see what happened.
And Adam is committing to help any of you who are single.
Yeah, far from it. But Chris Cuomo says something. He says, I've been wrong a lot. What's he talking about? Is he talking about the wages he made on the Red Sox, Yankees? Chris, are you talking sports?
Chris.
Are you talking, COVID, ivermectin, Rogan? Chris, what are you talking about? You got wrong, Chris. Anyways, Chris, we're going to go after Chris hardcore.
Oh, he knows.
Hardcore.
He knows.
America unhinged real estate market is driving down the birth rate. Oh, my God. So people are not buying homes to have a place to have sex.
That's what I'm saying.
Shouldn't you be able to rent a place like a hotel to say, look,
I mean, we're in Vegas.
I mean, look, nowadays
Whatever.
they make SUVs are big enough to make a baby. I mean, most cars have
Cadillac?
plenty of rooms.
Cadillac.
Anyways, maybe we need some house.
That's what Airbnb, the Airbnb logo is that way.
Yeah, so Trump fires U.S. labor official over data and gets earlier than expected chance to reshape Fed. Don't know what that means, but we'll definitely talk about it today. Trump to be nominated for Nobel Peace Prize after ending deadly war. Jamie Dimon and Trump appear to mend fences after previous public disagreements. Report. India, ready for this one? India is now the second country to buy oil from Russia, the other country being China. And Trump's not happy about it. It's like, wait a minute. You want to do a deal with us, a tariff deal, but you want to buy oil from them? What is this all about? We'll talk about that. Nelk boys. They had Netanyahu on. After Netanyahu, they had Bassem Youssef on. They're apologizing. We made a big mistake. We should have never done this. Nelk, Kyle, fellas, I just have some thoughts. Very basic, shouldn't be long. Just a few words to share for a couple guys that I believe in a lot, and I'm a big fan of those guys. New Hampshire, first New England state to ban sex change surgeries on minors.
Finally.
This next story is very weird. You got to see the look of this mom's face. And we should probably go into the story a little bit. I know it wasn't nobody's story, so I put my name next to it, but we'll get into this as well. Texas mom armed her 13-year-old son helped him plot attack on school. Are you kidding me? Did you guys hear that? The mom armed the son, the 13-year-old son, to go plot an attack on school. Bill Burr slams Ben Shapiro, racist, who sends offensive photos to him and his wife. Mohammed, for some of you guys that were wondering if your name was going to make it or not, you lost once again. Mohammed tops UK baby names as Yaya surges into top 100. But Mohammed is at the top. I know a lot of guys were texting saying, was I going to make the list? You lost to Mohammed once again.
Sorry.
Congratulations to all the Mohammeds in UK. Great name. All right. Jaguar CEO steps down after woke rebrand sparks massive social media firestorm, and Porsche CEO seeks fresh cost cuts, warning business model no longer works in post-Trump new China world. I mean, listen, Porsche better keep making their turbo S911 because we're going to have a problem if they stop doing that. Vinny, we got to – I know you have – Vinny's got like 17 pages of report on that one we'll get into.
Huge.
Read AT&T CEO's frank response to employees' feedback about a 5-day RTO mandate. And then BNPL is the worst thing for consumers since payday loans. You ready for this, folks? Watch this one here. A generation is turning to buy now, pay later for Botox and concert tickets. Tom made a very good point earlier. Says, do you realize by the time you buy the Botox to buy now, pay later, by the time the Botox is weared off, you're still paying for the Botox. So you got to go do it again. What a terrible idea, people going into debt for Botox using buy now, pay later. Las Vegas tourism's dropped. Some numbers we'll maybe get into. Birthday we already talked about. Home sales 13-year low. You ready for this one? Parents ask, Patrick, what job should my son have? What should I encourage my kids to get into? Well, let me tell you what one kid turned down a job offer from Meta. Meta offered this guy a $1 billion job offer. He says, not interested.
Jeez.
AI engineers. Another guy got a $250 million offer to lure a 24-year-old AI whiz kid. We have reached the climax of Revenge of the Nerds. At 24 years old, the kid's getting $250 million, $250 million job offer from Meta. Wait for that one. We'll talk about it. This next one is dedicated to my oldest son who's 13 years old. Kids who get smartphones before 13 years old face skyrocketing risks, study warrants. I like the fact that my kids don't have phones and they're 13. Parents, we will talk about this because we're at dinner last night having sushi. The table right next to us. What did you see, Vinny? 3, 4 iPads, kids sitting there.
One kid had a freaking, he had an antenna, headphones. Everybody's and the parents are just getting drunk.
Completely checked out. The kid might as well have been on Mars.
And this is the one story that Adam really wanted to talk about. Don't know why. Sex toy infiltrates second WNBA game.
Nice.
Fever star Sophie Cunningham weighs in. What is, I don't know.
But wait, at least, now that that's happening, now I kind of want to watch.
Yeah.
That could be a way to make me watch the WNBA.
Apparently, green is the color of the day.
Yes, it
is. And then we got a few other stories here. And then who was the one bodybuilder guy that dressed as Hulk?
Joey Swoles now is apologizing for apologizing.
All right,
and he's done apologizing.
Yeah,
a lot of apologies.
We got so many things to talk about, but I want to tell you about 2 things. I'm going to give you first a shout out, and then the second one as well. First one, summer is here. Future looks bright gear. We have the matching shirts with the hats, gang. So, Rob, if you can go to it where people can see it. No, you just had it. If you go back one where it shows the homepage right there. So the matching, if you can shop the collection, the hats, the shirts, the colors matching with each other. This is the shirt that Vinny wears, the black Future Looks Bright shirt right there with the silver one.
I love that. That one
Every time I see it, because that's elevated, right, off the shirt.
It's raised off the shirt.
It's sick. So if you go up a little bit, I don't know if that one's an elevated or not. Go a little bit higher up with the hats. The other way, Rob, if you go, those are the ones that are elevated. These are so sick. Look at that. Matching. So summertime, go sport your future. Yesterday, we're walking on Vegas. Guys got Valuetainment shirt on, Valuetainment hats on. It's awesome. Now we're seeing it all over the place. And I'm getting a bunch of pictures being sent my way. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order. And number 2, we were at Gaylord last week, Orlando, at the conference where the Vol Conference will be held, and at the hotel where the Vol Conference will be held. We are officially 35 days away from nearly 12,000 people coming together at the Vol Conference at the Gaylord. The hotel looks amazing. The number of networking opportunities, absolutely insane. Whether you're an AI, real estate, private equity. You're trying to raise money. You're trying to deploy money to some people. Great place to come. If you haven't yet bought your tickets, the top 2-tier tickets are about to sell out. Of course, you can get your general tickets, but the best tickets are typically the executive and the CEO and founder for you to sit closely and network with others. There's going to be a lot of big announcements that we'll be making. Tony Robbins will be there. Martha Stewart will be there. David Falk will be there. And a couple other surprises that will only be revealing while you're there. If you haven't yet registered, go to thevaultconference.com. Once again, to thevaultconference.com. I believe the prices are increasing this Friday. So get your tickets before the prices increase by the end of this week, and get your hotels as well at the Gaylord, because everybody will be there. All right. Having said that, let's get right into it. So, Rob, the story I want to start off with is the subpoena story that was just dropped. If you don't mind pulling that up, I don't even know if we have that story because it just happened right now. House panel subpoenas Clinton's and other ex-officials in Epstein probe, seeks files from the DOJ. This happened, just look what time it is right now, 11:01 this morning. If we can read this article, the House Oversight Committee issued subpoenas Tuesday to a slew of former Attorney General and FBI directors Clinton's for their testimony case involving sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The subpoena seeking depositions from former Justice Department officials were issued after Republicans and Democrats on a House Oversight Subcommittee approved measures to authorize the demands last month as part of an effort for Congress to obtain more information about Epstein. The investigators also issued a subpoena to Attorney General Pam Bondi for documents related to Justice Department investigation and to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, his associate, who is serving a 20-year prison. And by the way, I think story just also came out where Ghislaine Maxwell has officially moved into a nicer place where she's at. No, literally, she just moved into a new prison amid fight over answers and immunity. And when I'm looking at the story of what names were on the list today, Rob, I don't know if you see a list of all the names today. If you can find it, I had one of the lists that I saw here that David Harris posted. If you have a list of the names, I want to share this because I'm coming to you here to see what this could look like.
Pat, you know who's in that prison? Elizabeth Holmes is in that new prison that they moved her to in Texas.
Oh,
so
wow.
they can talk about,
interesting. Here's the names: William Barr, Alberto Gonzalez, Jeff Sessions, Eric Holder, Merrick Garland, James Comey, Robert Mueller, Loretta Lynch are some of the names of people that got subpoenaed this morning. Tom, what does this mean?
What this means is everyone has won an all-expenses-paid trip to Washington to be questioned. And unless everybody just wants to stand there and say, I take the fifth, I take the fifth, I take the fifth, which makes everybody look bad. So you're all guilty. But that could be what comes out of it. So I think on the far end of one thing, everybody takes the fifth. Everybody sits there like this, refusing to cooperate. Like when we saw Hillary, you've got probably, remember how Hillary looked exasperated when she was being quizzed about Benghazi?
What difference does it make?
Yeah, what difference does it make?
What difference does it make?
How disgusting.
And she sat there like this, remember? Just like,
horrible.
And going,
unbelievable.
like, you're not going to get anything from me.
So do you think everyone's going to plead the fifth?
No. Someone is going to break and someone is going to get left out to dry. That's usually what happens when you get large groups of it. It happened in Watergate. It's happened since then. There's too many people here. I looked on this list and I sat there and I looked and a name stuck out for me. Loretta Lynch. I'm like, everybody's got friends on here. Does she have enough friends, or is she going to be the one that says something? Because when you look at this, Pat, you have to just look around. And, Pat, you're really good at this. Like when you're trying to decipher a business negotiation through multiple parties, and you're looking at, okay, here's the strong one, here's the talker, here's the lawyer, here's the aggressive one, and you're really playing chess. That's what's about to happen, Pat. They're going to go there and play chess, and somebody is going to be a man or a woman without a country, because usually what happens if everybody goes through is that somebody says something or somebody leaks something, and I looked at that list and I looked
What do you think they worry about? I want you to look at this list. By the way, this is the list that Epstein victims identified due by August 19th, demanding full, complete, unredacted Epstein files with victims identified redacted by August 19th. Clinton's deposition is scheduled on October 14th. Hillary Clinton's October 9th. Comey's 7th. Mueller's 2nd. Barr is the 18th of August. Alberto's 26th. Session. So this is going to happen in the next few weeks.
And look who's first.
Tom.
Slick Willie.
No, William.
Bill. Slick Willie.
No. William Barr is first. August 18th.
Oh, meaning Gates one.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you meant the list. Yeah.
No. Who on this list do Clintons worry about? Because you got to know, Clintons are going to call everybody, and there's going to be a conference call today if it hasn't already happened.
They're talking right now.
Which of them do you think they fear? Do you think Loretta's the one they fear?
I would look at Loretta and Eric Holder.
Jeff.
Because those are the ones that it seems.
Jeff Sessions.
Tell me why.
Jeff Sessions, he has a relationship with Trump. And I think out of all those, Tommy, like, you made a great point on the fifth and who's going to talk and who's not going to talk. I mean, if I was Bill Clinton, I wouldn't say one damn word, bro. That guy is the most entrenched with Jeffrey Epstein. Why? I would ask him every question from, besides the redacted stuff, why the hell was he visiting you at the White House 11 times? Why? Why were you flying on Pedophile Express, whatever the hell it's called, 26 times? Why were you at the... those are questions. Why are you pictured with these younger, that relationship? Why, when you walk into Epstein's house in Manhattan, Pat, there's a picture of you in a dress pointing at the people walking.
You would never have that dress in your apartment.
I'm not a big purple. I wear red or something more flashy. But my point is being Jeff Sessions has a relationship. But at the end of the day, PBD, do you think anything's going to come off this, even if they don't plead the fifth?
I don't know.
And they all
I know you're saying that, and I know, Vinny, that's something you say a lot. But hear me out.
Okay.
You know what I'm for? In business, there's a couple things. The longer you're in business, you realize one thing will never happen. You know what never happened in business?
What?
Perfection. You will never have perfection in business, ever.
Okay.
Guess what you're looking for in business, in marriage, in parenting? You know what you're looking for?
What?
Progress is what you're looking for.
Okay.
I think this is progress. And I think you got to applaud them for making progress, for being subpoenaed. Where it goes from here, who knows? I like the fact that they're doing this. The reality of it is Daily Mail comes out with a story a couple of days ago, and they say all these people linked to Epstein's scandal who have died by suicide. Epstein died by suicide. Virginia Giuffre died by suicide, April the 25th at 41 years old. And she said this would never happen. And she was the one that at an Australia farm, abused as a child, trafficked by Ron Eppinger. She met Ghislaine at 16, worked at Mar-a-Lago. She alleged Epstein and Maxwell groomed her for sexual servitude, including to Prince Andrew, settling with him in 2023. She posted about hospital stays and a quad bike accident before death. Mark Middleton, Clinton special assistant, admitted Epstein to the White House 7 times. And Flo on the Lolita Express died by suicide May 2022, 59 years old at Heifer Ranch, Perryville, Arkansas, which we were just there a few days ago.
Shotgun in the chest?
In Arkansas, not at that specific place. Shotgun in the chest.
Couldn't find the
gun. Tough to do.
Weird.
Jean-Luc Brunel, Epstein's modeling agent, found hanged in his Paris prison cell on February 19, 2022, after rape charges. Giuffre alleged he used her as a sex slave. And then Thomas Bowers, former Deutsche Bank executive, hanged himself in Malibu in November 2019 at 55, oversaw Epstein's accounts 2013 to 2018, leading to Deutsche Bank's $150 million and $75 million settlement. The spokesperson said, "We acknowledge our error of onboarding Epstein in 2013. No direct evidence ties to Bowers to Epstein accounts." So, listen, all I care about, that they're finally sitting there asking these questions. And if the audience sees everybody plead the fifth, guess what that does? That gets everybody saying, what are you hiding? Why are you not answering? What are you uncomfortable answering with? I'd love to see Bill and Hillary Clinton plead the fifth the entire time. Because everyone's going to play that. Tom.
Well, you asked me why I thought Loretta Lynch and then Eric Holder. I'll tell you why. Because Eric Holder is Obama's guy. He was his first AG. He was the first African-American to be Attorney General of these United States. He was followed by Loretta Lynch, who was the first female African-American to be AG. And they were not seen to be kind of tied in to the whole Epstein thing and the flights. They were Obama's people. And Obama and Hillary still are chilly. The most that Eric Holder did for Hillary that I saw was when he just came out and said, I'm endorsing Hillary Clinton. I think she's the best person to, I think he used the phrase, preserve the Obama legacy. So that's why I look at Lynch and Holder as the ones here that I believe that the Clintons probably would fear the most.
Okay, Adam?
So the most important person by far is Ghislaine Maxwell when it comes to this Epstein thing. We're going down this list, Bill and Hillary. We're talking about Jeff Sessions, Bill Barr. We're talking about Eric Holder, all these names that have been in government and been sort of in the know or what's going on here. Ghislaine Maxwell knows everything. And she is in jail for 20 years, whatever her sentence is. And now there's a conversation about what does she know? It's almost like there was a golf game, and it's like, no, we need to do a mulligan. What happened? The scorecard was ripped up. All these players mysteriously vanished.
Adam, out of this list, who's
yes.
the most important?
Out of this list, it's Bill Clinton. But Bill Clinton will not say shit. Hillary Clinton will not say anything. He's the former president of the United States. When did he leave office? 25 years ago. You think retroactively Bill Clinton is going to be held responsible for anything? Zero. The only person who's ever been attempted to be held responsible for anything is Donald Trump. Why? Because the entire system, the entire swamp was trying to get him. And even then, it didn't work. And by the inch of a bullet, he's still here alive. But nothing is going to happen when these people go to court.
And Pat, that's the point. I get the business part. I get the business and the progress is happening. But is it really progress? Because in business, I learned this a lot from you, accountability. If you mess up, you have to pay the price. All those names that you listed, can we just acknowledge these people, whatever you want to call the people that are in control, how lazy are they with this whole suicide thing? But you know what I thought about? Why change gears? It works because we just keep seeing and we go suicide, yeah. And we brush it off. Because Pat, at the end of the day, you know why nothing's going to happen? And why I'm questioning why Trump and all them are pushing this right now? Can we step back? Is Jeffrey Epstein the most important thing that happened to Trump? Let's rewind. Are we not going to do Russiagate? All these people, I mean, the Hillarys and the Bar, it should be Russiagate first. It should be COVID. I know Fauci's got immunity, but bring everybody else in about COVID. That's important. There's a reason why this right now is taking precedent, and I know why. Because Trump was mentioned. Elon made the post PBD. Now we are where we are right now, and all this confusion because Elon started it.
You're saying now that you think Trump is tied to it?
Trump, in my opinion, Pat, with all the research, because remember, I'm such a diehard Trump fan, I had to change gears and go, okay, back up, think objectively. They're mentioning his name. Once Elon said it, and then all this, I'm going to release it. No, I'm not. Yeah. Stop talking about it. I don't need your support. I think he's listed in there. There's no list, but he's mentioned. Michael Wolff, like we talked about, PBD, says there's a whole different side of this guy that you don't know, and he has all this footage. I'm just saying, is this the most important? To me, it is.
Let me tell you why you're not going to get accountability, and I'll be quick. Because you actually have moral framework, and you believe in things like justice and fairness and accountability. That's not how it works in government. Anytime that there's a big company that tries to get bailout, look at during COVID, the airlines, look at the big banks. Pat believes in capitalism, freedom to buy, freedom to sell, freedom to try, freedom to fail. The big banks will not fail. The airlines will not fail. Big government will not fail. No one will be held accountable because you don't allow them to fail.
I agree.
Once you put Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton or Trump in jail, then there's accountability. Until then,
it's a wrap.
It's all just nonsense.
Well, listen, it's a good point that's being made by both of you. Here's what I will tell you. When they try to take down the mob that owned all the politicians, the Italian mob, for decades, it'll never happen, it'll never happen, it'll never happen. J. Edgar Hoover protected all of them, said there's no such thing. It's not there. Then all of a sudden, couple lawyers behind closed doors, one of them I believe was from Rutgers University, found a way, a RICO law to go and take them out with a young attorney named Rudy Giuliani. And then all of a sudden, you saw 200 and something, mobsters walking up with handcuffs. You're like, wait, what just happened here? Mm-hmm. No one ever thought that was going to take place. The only thing I'm saying right now is this is still a bit of a progress that we're looking at. Now let's go to the next story. Obama FBI ignored early indications of Clinton cooking up 2016 Russia collusion hoax, okay? So what does this mean, Rob? I think this is on page 19. If you got a video clip, I think you do. I'm going to go to page 19 on this to read it if you want to pull up the video. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, page 19. Give it to me.
Come
Here
on.
we go. All right. So U.S. intelligence services obtained information during 2016 presidential campaign suggesting President Barack Obama planned to scuttle an FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server with Russian intelligence memos indicating the Democratic Party planned to tie Donald Trump to the Russian mafia as declassified by Senator Chuck Grassley on Thursday from the 2023 Durham Special Counsel report annex. The memos assessed the authentic by FBI analysis stated, the Democratic Party's opposition is focused on discrediting Trump. Among other things, the Clinton staff with support from special services is preparing scandalous revelations of business relations between U.S. and the Russian mafia. Grassley The political weaponization has caused critical damage to our institutions and is one of our biggest political scandals and cover-up in American history. Emails from OSF Senior Vice President Leonardo Bernardo, part of the George Soros-funded Open Society Foundation. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story. In 2016, July 27, revealed Clinton's inner circle strategy with Bernardo writing, HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton, approved campaign advisor Julie's idea about Trump and Russia hackers hampering U.S. elections that should distract people from her own missing emails. Rob, do you know which video was you had?
I do. I have Chuck Grassley right
Go
here.
for it. Go for it. Let's hear it.
It actually brings attention to the fact that there was either a Clinton conspiracy to make this happen or a Russian disinformation. But either way, it was an attempt to stop Trump, and it also proves that the FBI had a hand in it. And now, after these 8 years, 3 years of my trying to get the document, we know that there was the Steele dossier paid for by the Democrats and the Clinton campaign.
You can pause this right
that
here.
it was.
Vinny just showed me. This man is 91 years old, still there doing what he's doing.
He only looks 90.
Tom, your thoughts?
So
Looks good.
So let's take a look at it. In the history of elections, and I'm going to get to this story in 30 seconds. In the history of elections, what is so unusual about finding, cat trapped in tree, shot with bazooka as a means to distract people from another issue? Distractions is the name of the political game, and your political operatives, your campaign management, everybody wants to throw something out there to distract from something else. And so guess what? They were looking for a distraction. What I see in this more than anything else is an admission by the Clinton camp. What you're seeing there, Bernardo and others saying, the email server thing is real, man, and we're taking heat for this. We got problems with this. We got to get off this email server. Hey, you know what? One of them allegedly now, campaign advisor Julie, allegedly had an idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. And so if this allegation is correct, and there's a lot of stuff written about it, but nobody's been to Congress, nobody's guilty yet, there you go. Oh, my gosh. Russians are interfering with our election and trying to help Trump. Oh, my gosh. So you're trying to distract from their own emails. You know what? And then with the Obama FBI, how many of these dirty tricks does the FBI turn up in a given month? Probably a lot of them. And so the FBI says, man, I just don't want to be involved in this election crap. Is that what happened? Because to me, things are usually simpler in conspiracies. We found it with the Kennedy assassination that conspiracies usually are more direct and simple. I think this was simple. If the Obama FBI...
That's the longest 30 seconds, guys, in the history of mankind.
I wanted to say what's your point.
I
I would never say
No. Sorry about that.
Adam, do you have any thoughts
I said
on
I
this
was
yourself?
getting to it in 30 seconds. I wasn't going to limit myself.
Okay.
But there you have it.
Adam,
would
go
it
ahead.
be
I got it, Tom.
surprising?
Adam, go ahead.
Yeah. To me, Trump is seeking vengeance on his enemies. And much like Kobe Bryant had his hit list or kill list, Trump has his list. And he is seeking revenge. It started with Hillary Clinton, offed her. He got round 2 versus Biden. Biden didn't show up. He took out Kamala. And now he's going for the big boss of the Democratic Party, and that's Barack Obama. Pat, you always reference the book, The Count of Monte Cristo, right? The Count of Monte Cristo is a story of what? Betrayal, survival, and patient revenge. Trump has been basically in the political limelight for a decade. And now justice is being served cold on his efforts to basically make Obama pay for what he basically put together when he was leaving office. So we're going to see if justice is served cold or not.
I think revenge is the wrong take. The Democrats are
now
saying
Tom
all
wants
the
to
way,
get to
all the
his
way
point.
through. All the way through, the Democrats have been saying Trump has to be stopped. We have to protect democracy. I don't care who's bringing it up. If these allegations are correct, it was the Dems that were interfering with democracy.
Guys, I'd like to put in an order for a nothing burger because Barack Obama, like you said about Clinton, all them, Adam, is absolutely
With a side of
bulletproof
fries.
because he has immunity. We heard last week a president has immunity, so he could do whatever the hell he wants. He's going to walk free. But it's
Are you talking about Obama?
Obama,
Okay.
he's untouchable. They're all untouchable.
So isn't that the same mindset that you would have in Clinton when it comes to Epstein?
Yeah, I was going to my point is,
Okay.
Adam and I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, no joke, in the lobby, Pat, and he was wearing a Valuetainment shirt. We got into a 5-minute conversation. I feel that we're not going to get zero accountability here. The only person that's going to give them accountability, Tom, and how many times we talk about this, is God. So as much as we want to get upset in this moment, Pat, because the FBI, Obama's FBI was Bill, the last president. Jeez, how am I?
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden. Jeez,
Jesus. Are you having freaking dementia?
I just pulled
right
the Joe
now?
Biden. I just pulled the Joe Biden.
Unbelievable.
Their FBI, their Department of Justice was all weaponized, and they were all biased against Trump. Okay, just go to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton got in trouble for creating the dossier, and she got an $8,000 fine. That right there lets you know, and the DNC got $100,000, I believe. They were involved with trying to freaking cheat him out of his presidency.
Rob, what's this here you showing up? This is from Mike Benz.
This is the email from Leonard Bernardo where they talk about trying to frame Russia jeopardizing or being able to hack the elections to distract from Hillary's email.
So let me read this. So, hi, HRC. Who's Leonardo emailing this to? Do we know? HRC approved Julia's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing email, especially if the affairs go to the Olympic level. The point is that the Russian play a U.S. domestic issue, say something like a critical infrastructure threat. Oh, my God.
Wow.
For the election to feel menace, since both President of the United States and VP have acknowledged the fact that IC would speed up searching for evidence. What's IC? What is IC? IC would, do you guys know who that is or no?
I don't. I can tell you who Leonard Bernardo is, though. He's a senior vice president of the Open Societies Foundation. He sent that email
weird.
To divert attention from Hillary Clinton.
But who did it go to?
He emailed Julianne Smith, the foreign policy advisor to Hillary Clinton at the time that
Can you
email
pull
was
up
sent.
both of their Wikipedias? Leonardo Bernardo. So pull up Leonardo Bernardo to see who he is.
Sounds like a fake name. Leonardo Bernardo. Yeah.
And just FYI, you guys, Open Society, guess who's founded by?
George
Jorge Soros.
He doesn't have a Wikipedia, but this is
Let's go lower a little bit.
Leonard Bernardo.
Go a little bit lower. Leonardo Bernardo, Senior Vice President, Open Society Foundations. Rosa Bernardo wrote 2 correspondence to Recinovers. Wow. He works with Chair, Deputy Chairman, and maintain ongoing Foundation. Programmatically, he stewards 2 major efforts, the Ideas Workshop that seek to promote so Open Society Unique Network, $1 billion effort to promote research and teaching across global network. Nothing said there. Nothing said there. A fellowship. Bernardo sits on the board of Central European University, Hungary, the American University of Central Asia, and European Humanities. He holds a BA from University of Michigan and a graduate degree in political science. Yeah, there's not a lot there on this guy. He is actually, you can't see him anywhere.
Can you go back to the screenshot, Pat?
Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
Go back to the Twitter letter that you had right there.
Yeah, I believe we got a text from an alert viewer here. IC, I think, means intelligence community, and GRU is the Russian spooks. So read it that way. They've acknowledged that the fact that the intelligence community would speed up searching for evidence that is regrettably still unavailable. However, there seems to be signs that the Russian spies penetrated, using these things. They appear hardly skilled and competent bumbling idiots. In absence of direct evidence, CrowdStrike, that is a company that makes high-level antivirus and anti-penetration and security software.
Got it.
Will supply the media with comments. So see, they've set the whole thing up that, hey, say a few things and then let's get CrowdStrike to comment and let's see if it was GRU spooks. And
this is the girl? Can we see who she is?
Yes, sir. Julianne Smith.
American policy advisor who served in U.S. Permanent Representative to NATO, Biden administration 21, previously National Security Advisor to VP Biden under Obama. Got a bachelor's from this. Okay, NGO experience 2000 to 2003. She worked with German Marshall Fund, then joined Center for Strategic Fellow Accomplishment 2000, transforming NATO and Premier. Children to 2002 NATO policy. So this email, now that email is public info to everybody. When was that email released, by the way?
Thursday or Friday of last week.
This is part of the D class.
Now, yes, the Durham investigation, they had that email since, I believe, 2023, but it just became declassified on Thursday of last week.
Yeah, you see, I had a guy on the podcast who's had that technology that at any point they can show the video of a face of somebody in Ukraine-Russia war where he gave the technology to him, guys who they would hold hostage, Ukrainians, that guy right there, Hone Contat, him and I just spoke the other day, he invented a company called Clearview AI, where you can post a person's picture in there. It's the Google of faces. It'll say everything about that individual, okay? Everything about that individual. He invented this. Where am I going with this? Where I'm going with this is the fact that we're at a point right now, Vinny, I'm convinced we're at a point right now that any of these guys that are doing what they're doing, the big government may be protected. The big insurance companies may be protected. The big banks may be protected. But the era you're going in right now, there's a 23, 24-year-old kid that knows how to hack into different systems to identify things similar to how Snowden and others did, and they got on that intel. And what happened with Snowden was doing what he was doing. What happened every time WikiLeaks was dropping something new? Remember one time even Cuomo from CNN said you shouldn't read it. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yeah, what was it?
You don't remember that?
No.
All the emails, everything from Hillary, everything that was being dropped. So
don't read it.
Yeah, where I'm going with this is the fact that, and by the way, you know what's a perfect time for this? Rob, can you play the clip of Chris Cuomo? He posted this last week. It's gone viral all over the place. A bunch of people have shared it. This is Chris Cuomo. Was on CNN. He was on CNN for many, many years. Rob, if you can't find it there, just go on X. It's everywhere. Where he's saying, I made mistakes. Type in Cuomo mistakes, and you'll see it everywhere. That's going to be there. Yeah, things he got wrong. That's that one right there. Watch this.
Stuck in traffic.
Still moving
I'm
fast.
remembering right now.
He's moving. Is that another lie?
Just woke up.
Go back.
He just lied again, Pat.
Stop.
He just lied live.
Go
He's
back.
not. He's going 40 miles an hour.
Stuck in traffic. I'm remembering right now. Wow.
You just woke up. It's fine.
I'm wrong a lot.
A lot?
We don't like to say it. We don't like to admit it. We really don't like to correct it. But that is how you grow and you get to a better place. And it is such a precious commodity right now. I've been wrong. I've been wrong about political issues. I've been wrong about people. I've been wrong about myself. I've been wrong about my responsibilities. I've been wrong about my opinions, my tastes, my choices. I've been wrong. And that's okay. Hopefully you learn. Hopefully when you're wrong, you get to a better place. If you do the work, unless you stubbornly hold on. And that's where so much of us are stuck. It's not just being wrong, it's refusing to learn what's right. I've been wrong. Have you been wrong? If you say no, you're wrong.
Ooh.
Could I say one thing?
Yes,
that
man.
was fun. He's not stuck in traffic. Number one, he's going 40 miles an hour. Number one, but, and by the way, I love Chris to death. Very, very. I'm happy that he's finally saying something, but I want to be specific. Like you can't just say, "Okay, I was wrong." Adam, what were we talking about yesterday? I'm wrong a lot, but you know, I learned in life to say, "Hey guys, before this even snowballs into something crazy, I'm sorry, I'm stupid, I messed up right here, right now." Okay, Russia collusion. Push that narrative. Did you actually say that you were wrong? Like, actually say it, guys. I was duped. Or was it because I was working for a network? Because that's the narrative. COVID, quarantine, the basement thing, how many I get it. That's a vague blanket apology. I think people want to hear, the majority of people want to hear the specific. I was wrong, okay? I was wrong. They told me to say this. This was the narrative at CNN. I couldn't go away. We have sponsors. We have Pfizer. We have whoever is sponsoring us. I think being specific about it can shut everybody up. You know, I was wrong about COVID. Guess what? I took the vaccine. I did this. I want to be more specific. I think, like you said about business, you're making progress. I think it could be a little bit more nail on the head. Because, by the way, I love you, Chris. You were going 45 miles an hour right there. 45. Maybe
Adam,
30.
your thoughts on this?
So I learned something when I was going through some traumatic incidents in my life, and that was the ego is not your amigo. The biggest problem that people have when they don't want to admit that they're wrong or they have issues is like, not me, bro. I would never. No, it was her fault. My boss. No. The hardest thing to do is look in the mirror and be like, you fucked up, dude. You messed up. You should have done better. And what happens is it's a three-part process. Number one, there's immediate discomfort. You're like, I don't want to admit this. This isn't really what I want to do. Then you start to feel a little bit better. All right. It's not so bad. And then third, you start to establish credibility and say, you know what? Here's what's happening. And you might go so far as 5 years ago I was the biggest Trump hater, and now Roger Stone sees me and goes, hey, there's Mr. MAGA guy, the biggest Donald Trump fan I know. That's where you're at in the moral arc of the universe. So take it from me, when you're wrong, admit you're wrong, lick your wounds, move on, and go drive in traffic like there's
by the way, there is a video clip. There's a video clip, Rob. I don't know if you have it. I have it somewhere in my notes. The reason why this is so important to a lot of people, and on the Russia collusion stuff, the amount of videos that was said about Russia hacked the election. Do you know a highlight reel of a number of people that said this? I'm just going to show you a simple one here, Rob. I'm going to text it to you, and it was in our notes, but it's so convoluted that you're probably going to have a hard time finding it. I just sent you the text. Look how many people from different media platforms said the same thing. In what way? Not in a possibly, allegedly, could be happening, you should look into it, not verified. No. Look at the way these guys were answering this. Just zoom in, okay? Watch this one here. Go ahead, Rob.
Hacking the election to elect Trump is the end of our democracy. Votes were definitely affected. Russia hacked the election to tilt it to Mr. Trump.
The Russians definitively hacked the election.
Not
Russia
allegedly.
Did hack the
Did
election.
hack.
No doubt. The Russians hacked the
No
election.
doubt.
Yes.
Russia hacked the election.
Fact. Russia hacked the election.
President-elect Donald Trump still not sounding convinced that Russia hacked the election.
The president does not want to come to terms with the fact that the Russians hacked the election.
President Trump says he still wonders if the Russians hacked the election.
If you can get him to accept that Russia hacked the election, see if you can get him to accept who won the Civil War.
You just got fired, buddy.
Fired. It casts a shadow on his victory over Hillary Clinton.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked
There
the
he
election.
is.
Russia
Looks good.
In traffic.
hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Let's be clear. Russia hacked the election. Definitively.
Definitively.
Russia hacked
That's a
the
fine.
election, and Russia is doing it again now.
Election-related cyber hacking.
Cyber hacking of U.S. elections.
Cyber hacking of the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
The CIA, the FBI, NSA.
All of these intelligence
So
organizations.
you can pause this right now. By the way, we can
half
go-
an hour. Half
no,
an
no,
hour.
it's literally, we can go this for half an hour. The point is the following. This is leading me to the next story, which is America's at a point right now where they're watching on podcasts and shows and future media companies. I cannot tell you how many people were approached by on different media companies. Hey, we'd like to do this. We'd like to do that. We'd like to do this, right? Everybody is having conversations right now in the media space. Rob, if you can go to the previous story, go back. No, you're right there. No, go back where you write. Go back to one page, the stories. Go back one page, Rob. Yeah. So look at the top one that says, who thinks the free press is worth $250 million? So Bari Weiss, okay, goes out there sitting down with David Ellison. Okay, click on the story, Rob, if you could. CBS News. So who thinks the free press is worth $250 million? Now, Bari Weiss has done some great interviews. And I think she was part of Twitter Files, if I'm not mistaken. And then she did a bunch of different things. Speaker Johnson interviewed a bunch of them. Rob, if you can go a little bit lower to read the story. So they're at a point that they're saying, we think our company is worth $250 million, right? And 1969, NBC canceled TV series Star Trek. 56 years later, the franchise, 13 movies. How is this going to the Bari Weiss story? Go a little bit lower, Rob, to make sure. Okay, there it is. What shape or advisory role ultimately takes it still up for grabs? But her reported asking price is a $250 payday for her news site, The Free Press, which changed its name from Common Sense and which entirely bypassed a descriptive title like No Old Rich White Guy. After further review, it turns out you were right all along. That's what she's asking for. She can ask for that, no problem, right? Sagar, Rob, if you can go to the clip that they have, and these guys have done a great job, the two of them. Politically, they disagree. I've been on their show before when we talked about Bernie Sanders 6 years ago. I think I was on there. One time we had a conversation about capitalism, and she was a Bernie supporter at the time. Here's what he has to say about the ask of $250 million. Go for it.
And
my point.
The reason Tim Dillon's sketch hit so hard is because he's right. The whole value comes from her willingness to put an intellectual sheen on absolute monstrosities.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's in writing. The Dylan Byers, who's, again, I know this may seem tedious, but this is important for all you guys to understand, that there are people like us, they're all, listen, Tim Pool's not out there asking for $250 million, all right? And he gets 15 times the number of views. But he has more views than we do. PBD, any of these other folks, none of these folks are out there. You can think whatever you want about them, but, they're running their own businesses and they're not out there trying to be bought for billions and billions or whatever. And the point, though, in the Bari Weiss case is that it is entirely an intellectual sheen on pro-Israel and pro-Zionism. If you read about it, David Ellison and others are genuinely only want to buy the free press to support Israel. That's it. They want to support and put, what's her name? Bari on the CBS news board as an ombudsman.
Yeah, so she's gonna fill the role as the TikTok IDF
as
lady.
the censor.
Same thing, but for
do you know why this is crazy?
Okay,
do you know
can
why
pause
this
it
is
right
crazy?
there. I have my thoughts on this, but Tom, I'm going to go to you first. So, Bari Weiss, $250 million. That's her ask. That's what she thinks the company's worth. He's saying this could be another leg to help out pro-Zionist, pro-Israel. What are your thoughts about this breakdown of what he had to say?
First of all, I'm reacting the same as Sagar is. I'm kind of stunned. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, but we saw Skydance jump around, billion-dollar increments jumping around on the acquisition of Paramount. And, Russia interfered with the election. Now we have a new one that is Trump paid a bribe, or Trump was paid a bribe in the form of the CBS settlement so that
Stephen Colbert,
the merger would go through.
Yeah.
And that he fired Stephen Colbert, but he didn't like him. No, Stephen Colbert got fired because CBS and Paramount finally came to their senses and said, it doesn't work. Sure. Nobody's watching. And this is freaking expensive. And the contract's up. And we're merging, and we're looking for profits. You know what? That one's gone. He's got to go. But guess what? In denial, they do that. Now, you circle all that around. Why am I bringing that up? It's because the value that was being paid there, $250 million, is not much more. And if they're really looking to place her, like buy the whole thing and then place her into CBS News, they're trying to reach in to the bloggers, which have become podcasters, which have become very influential, and they're trying to put one of those in CBS to bolster it. Remember, what they're trying to do is avoid the ongoing decline of CBS News. And so what do? Hey, what if we buy one of these companies, PBD? What if we plug it into CBS News? Will everybody come watch because now we have one of the popular conservative people here? I see what's going on there. And the other side, I think Sagar's onto something. Does somebody also say, well, and this also could be an opportunity to put a pro-Israel voice on CBS News, which has been leaning in favor of Palestinian protests and supporting Palestinian protests and not talking about the risk to students. And now the entire Ivy League, except Dartmouth, is under investigation by the Trump administration for those kind of anti-Semitic, not anti-Semitic by the administration, but allowing anti-Semitic things to be happening on campus and not stepping in to protect students and protect Jewish people and protect Jewish speakers, professors. There, so that's what I see. CBS News plugging this in. They get a little Israel out of it. They get a little podcast out of it. Does David Ellison ultimately pay $250 million for it? And Sagar's right. This podcast and others are running businesses, and we think we do the best job.
Yeah, so that was your point?
Yeah.
Oh, you're done. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so, on a story like this, I looked at HuffPo when Arianna Huffington sold HuffPo, what she sold it for. She sold it to AOL years ago. Their top-line revenue was around $60 million. They sold over 5 times revenue. They sold for $315 million. They sold 10 times earnings, okay, but 5 times revenue. So you're doing $60 million a year. AOL came in and said, I'll pay you $350 million. They picked up HuffPo. The company's dropped. They don't have the same amount of revenue. They're about to lay off a bunch of different editors right now. They announced in January 2025 it would cut about 30 editorial roles, representing 22% of the newsroom, which means 22% means 1/5. That means they have 150 people. A fifth is being fired. Say 30 is going to be fired. They're letting go. So HuffPo's not getting the same amount of viewership they used to get back in the days in 2000. Back in 2008, 9, 10, HuffPo was like the place to be. It was doing great. I think I sat down with her right after she sold the business. We had a great conversation together. And I even think she ran for governor one time, going up against Arnold. I even think she debated Arnold one time for a governor race, if I'm not mistaken. Can you verify that? I may be fully wrong, and I'm thinking about somebody else. But did she ever? No, I don't know if she ran. Did she ever? No, did she run for? No, that was somebody else, I think, that ran. But let me see here. Did she debate some conversations? Who was the person that he debated that was a media space? I don't know if it was her. It could have been somebody else. But the point is, Free Press today. What is Free Press's top line revenue, Tom? Do we know?
I've not seen what I would call as reliable disclosure.
So top line revenue. Let's see where it's at right now. What is Free Press's top line revenue? Can you see that? So Free Press's reported total revenue. Are you joking?
Oh, man.
So if they got a $6 million revenue and somebody pays 5 times revenue, it's a $30 million business, not a $250 million business. So if we use comparisons, like you know how you sell on a house, you say comp, my house is worth $2 million. Why? Because next door neighbor is 100 square feet smaller than mine, and that's sold for $1.9 million. I believe I'm a $2 million business. Okay, cool.
You can do the math.
Yeah. But if HuffPo was sold at $250 million at a $60 million revenue, 1/10 of Free Press, they're worth at best $30 million. At best is what they're worth, is $30 million. But by the way, guess what? I'm not upset at her asking for $250 million. If somebody is willing to pay $250 million, guess what? Good payday for her. She went up and made her $250 million, whatever the numbers are that other people pick up. We don't have a problem with that. But the point of where I'm going with this, we went from the story of Epstein to the story of, and by the way, the people that are forcing the Epstein story to be in there is actually not mainstream media. Believe it or not, the people that are making Epstein story stay there is who? Podcasters. Podcasters are now becoming like, give me a break. Can you guys stop talking about it? Why are you talking about this? Then it goes to Russia. Then it goes to Cuomo, who was one of the faces saying, I was wrong. We don't know what it is. Maybe we'll invite him and have him on the podcast to have a conversation with him. I'm sure something's going to get scheduled here to have him on and play the clip opening and saying, what were you wrong about? And then you go into Bari Weiss, $250 million saga, saying, I don't know if it's good or not. Who knows what's going to happen there? And this leads me to the next one. I got a call. I won't disclose the name until the story comes out because I'm trying to see if this is going to be a hit piece or not. I got a call from a very well-known New York Times person that she wanted a conversation with me. And we came down. We ended up having a 3-hour conversation about a lot of different things. And I sat there and she says, I'm going to be recording this conversation. I said, I'm also going to be recording the conversation. No problem. So everything we talked about was all recorded that I have. Everything. And we talked about industry. What do you think about this company? What do you think about that company? What do you think about this company? What do you think about that company? Back and forth. I was told her right off the bat, everybody told me to not meet with you. I told her that she'll probably say this herself. I probably told her that 10 times, that everybody told me not to meet with you. I said, they told me it's not a good idea. They said to shun away. They said you're the worst. They said you go after people. They say you don't tell the truth. They say you lie. They say you exaggerate. How could you? Who said that? I said, I'm not going to give you a single name. But all I'm telling you is people that I trust, that I have a relationship with, they don't trust you. But I'm willing to sit down with everybody and have a very basic rule. You'll always have access to me if you're respectful to me. The moment you exaggerate and misrepresent what I said, you'll never get a hold of me. It's very simple how I work. If I can't get a hold of you and we have a relationship together, and then you want me to be accessible to you, I'll always be accessible to you. The moment you take that for granted, we don't need a relationship. I'm moving on and going to a different place. And this applies to people in the media space because the media people all talk to each other. But for whatever reason, it is very nasty and ugly in this space. It's so ugly and nasty in a very different way because everyone's like, well, that guy's podcast is scrolling down and this guy's podcast is this and that guy's stream is and that guy's – everyone's talking like that. Nelk boys sit down and interview BB, okay? And even at the beginning of their interview, they're like, oh, my God, I don't even know what we're doing here. We're way over our head and, we're should we do this? Should we not do this? And by the way, historically, they've been one of the best to bring eyeballs of the youth to President Trump. They get a lot of credit for doing this. And even during COVID, they were one of the first guys that did an interview. The video got like 6, 7, 8 million views Within 24 hours, YouTube took it down. That was back in the days when interviews of Trump would be taken down. And they did a big interview. So they've done a very good job over the years. Dana White's been a very big supporter of these guys. Behind closed doors, cameras on, cameras off, they're freaking great to be around. Okay, these guys. Especially Kyle, really like him. Steiny's funny as well, to be around these guys. They interview Bibi. Right after interviewing Bibi, the mob goes after them. How could you? How dare you? You doing softball questions, this, that. And here's what they had to say, Rob, if you don't mind playing this clip. Play the clip.
It's a good point. Someone said having Netanyahu on is like having modern-day Hitler.
No, I saw that.
Which is, honestly, guys, I'll be honest. I'm here to... It's a good point.
What's a good point?
We're here to fucking learn, to be honest, guys. It's a
What else?
What's a good point?
Rob, let it keep playing.
Please that was the end of the clip.
Oh, that was the end of it?
Yes, sir.
So they say this, comparing Netanyahu to Hitler, and they're saying that's a good point because the market is reacting to them in a very, very hardcore way. Then they get Bassem Youssef, which we've had him on. It's so funny. The other day, people showed a clip of Bassem Youssef when he was on the podcast. He had come with terrible back pain. Middle of the podcast, I'm lifting up his shirt. We got him a icy hot thing to put on. I'm putting, what do you call it, stuff for the pain to go in. And afterwards, I cook up him a nice meal and bring him masseuse to give him a nice a massage on his back.
Massage at your house.
Yeah, at my house, yeah. All this stuff. Bassem Youssef goes on, and this is the clip when they're together at the podcast, and here's how they open it up, okay? Here's how they open it up. You can go back a little bit. Press play.
We should have grilled him 50,000, 100,000 times harder, but something we can't get back, and we'll probably always regret
Of course,
that,
but I know you can't get back this like trip in Israel, but I'm just telling you, this was like part of a much bigger propaganda effort, right? And a country that spends $150 million on its image, they are covering something. They when they spread all of these propaganda, it's like, we're not starving people in Gaza.
You can pause that right there. You can pause it right there. If somebody wants to watch the rest, they can watch the rest. By the way, they spend 150. We probably spend tens of billions of dollars to make our image clean. Every country spends money on that. It's not in only one country that does it or not. But here's what I would tell you. The point I want to make to you guys is the following. And this is specifically going to the Nelk crew, all of them, all the crew there. Dude, you don't have to apologize. Honestly, you guys don't have to apologize. You guys have done very good work, very. And you're in the process of learning. You're interviewing people. You don't need to sit there and worry about the mob. FYI, the mob is going to come after you in such ways to make you get on your knees and convince you that you're going to lose all your customers. You're not going to lose your customers. You guys are loved. People love you guys. You truly are loved. The audience, who is the happy dad, if you're drinking, if somebody drinks beer here, go buy the Happy Dad beer because these guys are good guys. They're very good guys at what they do. Very. They're trying to do their best. Young guys coming up, openly talking about the stuff they're doing. These are good guys. But this next phase we're going to, all of these guys that are coming up, God forbid you do an interview that somebody's not happy with. Be very, very careful trying to win over the mob. You're not going to. Let me say it again. There's different formats of, like, even for us, a part of the market, how they look at it. It's so funny when they come and see us, they're like, whoa, you guys got 11-acre land here on the airport? Yes. You guys leased this? No, we own this place. How do you guys have 164 employees? What do they do here? 163 on any given day. We're at 164 now. How do you guys have 164 full-time employees? You guys just had 30 people 20 years ago. Last time I came. You guys were in an office in Boca 3 years ago when I came. What's going on with, now you guys have a cigar lounge. Now you guys got a platinum lounge. Now you guys got another. Now, what are you guys doing behind closed doors? We're building a business is what we're doing. And our method of what we're going to, we have the business owner audience. We have entrepreneurs audience. We understand to small business owners because to me, I believe the backbone of America is small business owners. It's very hard to build a company. We're at a shop here, okay, in Vegas. The two owners are here. First thing I said is I want to see what the back looks like. They got a beautiful podcast studio here. I go to the back. All the people have been so nice to us, okay? Adam's put the entire crew to work. I'm so upset at Adam. They're so respectful to us. They're so nice to us. There's about 11 employees I met. That's hard cost. This is hard. This is not easy. They have to make this thing work and make money doing this. All this camera, all this stuff is this is hard. So we, like our audience, understand how hard it is to grow a business, pay salary, have benefits, keep people happy. You lose somebody, you hire them, you train them, you try to put a good thing together. I just want anybody and everybody that's in the media space, we agree, disagree. I don't care if you're Sagar and his partner, I want to say Crystal is his wife's name, is her name, who's married to Kyle Kulinski, who we've had on before, and he was good when we had him on. It's not easy to build a business. It's not easy for any one of them, from the left, the right, the center, no matter what part you are. But the direction people are going to next, the currency they're going to be looking at is whether you're fair, whether you're consistent, whether you have the ability to reason, and you're willing to talk to anybody and everybody, and that's what you're doing. If you all of a sudden get arrested by the comment section, welcome to miserable life. Because the mob then realizes, ooh, we got a hold of them. We scared them. We control you. Nope, you can't do that. We're going to send our audience and go in the comment section to bash PBD podcasts and comments, because what Pat said about Muslims and all this, go in the comment section. You won't move us. Go, Nelk boys, and scare the crap out of them. Don't let them move you. Your voice is important. You've done good work. And you're going to get better. It's just going to get better. A 35-year-old Kyle, a 40-year-old Kyle, John in the back, the CEO, doing a phenomenal job. These guys are doing good work, but I think on a media space where we're going to next, it's going to be a very interesting race, and it'll come down to, you know what? When I watch PBD podcasts, they sell shirts and they sell Maneks and they sell consulting. Yeah, we sell our businesses instead of taking sponsorship money, so we're not owned by anybody else.
Bingo.
We do it because our loyalty is to the truth and the customers. That's what we want to do. If you don't like us and walk away, we're also okay with that. You'll come back. We understand business. We've been around. We got thick skin. But I think there's a massive opening right now in a marketplace with media, and it'll be very, very interesting. There's going to be some that no matter where they go, they tear the house down and they leave and they blame the company. This happened in insurance a lot. Every time I interviewed a guy that wanted a job that bashed their previous 3 companies, I'm going to be the 4th. Any girl you ever date that trashes the previous 3 boyfriends, you're going to be the 4th. Any guy you date that bashes his previous 3 girlfriends, you're going to be the 4th very soon. That's how this works. No one is perfect. Everyone's trying to figure this thing out. And on any given day, anyone's going to fall into some kind of a scandal. Well, let me tell you what happened. They just got money from Qatar. They got money from Saudi. They got money from Mossad or Israel. No, they're funded. All right, we'll see. Pump the brakes. Let's see what happens here as more of the stories come out. But I hope Bari gets $250 million that she wants. But Bari, realistically, on a $6 million revenue, if that number is right for 2024, and that's the run rate, you were, as of December 31st, a $30 million company, which is a very hard thing to do. If the people still are willing to pay $250 million for a $30 million company, that means you need to write a book on sales and negotiation, period. And people, I would buy it because you sold the company for what? A bigger valuation than it's really worth. And there's nothing wrong with that. But business comps, it's a different market we're in today. And I'm so excited about the next 10 years. I am so excited about the next 10 years because we're going to see some real nasty things happen the next 10 years. And the next 10 years, we're also going to see some people that nobody expected to come to the top, to come out of nowhere and become the cream of the crop. And then everyone's going to target that company. You'll see. Be patient. It's coming to a city near you. That's how business and capitalism works. That's what's going to be taking place. Adam, I think you want to say something.
Yeah, I love that entire perspective. So most people are obsessed with other people's opinions. Most people are imprisoned by other people's thoughts and feelings. Most people are trying to keep up with the Joneses. Free yourself from the prison of what other people think. I've learned this the hard way. The hardest thing to do is not give a flip about what other people have to say. Let's put these things in order. Number 1, keyboard warriors. Adam, you suck. Don't. At this point,
but some of them are right
about
doesn't
matter.
I'm just
Doesn't matter to me. Number 2, Do you know how many friends I have? Friends that go, I can't believe you voted for Trump. I can't believe you would sit down with Nick Fuentes. I can't believe that you would associate with Andrew Tate. I can't believe that you would talk to Candace Owens. Oh, yeah? Shut the fuck up. This is what we do. We talk to people. We hear the truth. The last thing that's liberating is your closest friends and family. There's friends and family in my life. Why do you do this? Why do you travel? Why do you have to go this? Why do you do this? You could also shut the F up. Because this is what we do. Thank God, I'm going to give PBD a shout out, that we have a leader with a backbone who says, don't apologize. We had a situation recently where they want you to apologize. No, you don't have to. This is what we do. When you have conviction and you stand for something, you don't have to go anywhere. As far as what the Nelk boys did, I think they're great. I think Kyle's a nice dude. They should have done better. To read a comment and say, wow, we interviewed Bibi Netanyahu, the modern day Hitler. Oh, okay, that's fair. Really, bro? Is that actuality the reality? Bibi Netanyahu is the modern day Hitler? Modern day Hitler? Are you freaking kidding me? And Bassem Youssef can go on all these podcasts and criticize Israel. Why can't Bassem Youssef go back to Egypt? Why can't he go back to the country that he's from? Because in the country you're from, you can't criticize the government. You can't criticize the government in Iran. You can't criticize the government of Egypt. You can't criticize the government of Syria. You'll end up dead. You can criticize the government in Israel, no problem. And to the whole camp that goes, well, you can't criticize Israel. What's the one country you can't criticize? Are you fucking kidding me?
Adam, at this point, bro.
Sorry.
This is the third time, man. It's like we had dinner last night talking about
this. This upsets me because I hear.
I understand.
No. Because all I hear is that you can't criticize Israel, and all I hear are "F you."
I don't care.
Jew.
No.
Kill yourself.
These are two separate things.
I'm sorry. I'm fired up here. But when half the world hates you, deal with it and get tough. Because the whole notion that Israel can't be criticized, the whole notion that Bibi Netanyahu can't be criticized, that's all they do.
I think you've branched over into. Go ahead, Vinny.
I just want to say one thing, Adam, and I understand where you're coming from, and I get your passion. It's all good.
I'm sorry about that.
You're the angry patriot at this point, but I don't think it's that. I think it's when you want to criticize Israel, there's two labels. You're anti-Semitic, means you hate all Jews, or you support Hamas. That is a big problem because the moment you can't say, wait a minute, there are starving kids in Gaza. They are shooting open fire on people that are just trying to get food. Those kids aren't terrorists. And to have an attitude like, well, they're going to grow up to hate Jews and they're going to want to kill Jews. Let's just shoot them. That's the problem. It's not that if you can't criticize without being labeled and sticking up for the children and the innocent people, bro, that's the disconnect. It's not all Jews.
Vinny, just so you know, you're right and he's right.
Yes.
But it's not Hitler.
Oh, no, I'm not
what
agreeing
are
to
we
that.
talking about?
No, I'm not agreeing to that.
What are we? I want to make sure you qualify that.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
We're not talking about Hitler.
Absolutely not.
We are talking about
just
somebody who is a true believer in his cause. His name is Bibi, and it's not your cause.
Yes.
And you can disagree with them.
Yes.
But to all of a sudden have that category as here, that's what's going on.
No, that's a horrible comparison.
And by the way, over here, last night, my son, we go to, I don't want to say where we had dinner. So last night we have dinner. We're doing a convention here. There's going to be around 10,000 people here. I was just at the award ceremony in the morning. Quick shout out to Maral Tikran and the whole crew. Phenomenal job on the opening video. I went to watch the opening video at 7 a.m. with my daughter, Senna, who is my number one road dog. She was there with me just watching it. And then we came here. And then we came here. But last night, we're at this place. We're having dinner. How cool was that conversation at dinner?
Amazing.
It was like, and Tico is standing just going like this and watching Tom. And by the way, listening to Tom at these types of dinners, I'm telling you, you get so much smarter just listening to Tom with his experience of faith, and then Adam and Tom talking about, what it is to be a Jew and Christianity, and then you jumping in there and just back and forth, all of us. It was such a great dinner. That's a regular thing for us. The reason why I'm getting upset at Adam is I'm asking specifically, stop dropping F-bombs. I've asked him so many times. I don't like it.
My bad, sir.
Because when I do other things, guest says it. Kids are watching us. People want to put their kids in front of this. I'm not a fan of that. I've told you this hundreds of times privately. Now you're forcing me to say it to you publicly.
That's fair. That's fair.
Don't do that to me after I just had a conversation with you
You're absolutely
yesterday.
right.
All right. So,
and I'll say one thing.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I know
I tried to say flip a few times.
But guess what?
And I apologize.
You gotta control, because the targeting's not gonna change.
True that.
Yeah, I'm at a place right now where my position is very simple. Yesterday, you know what's one of the conversations we had about Christians, Jews, and Muslims? How long does it take to become a Muslim? What was the number?
30 seconds. They
prayer.
ask you to say a prayer. They direct you to some things, and then they say, okay, now come along with me on the journey.
How long does it take to be a Christian?
Similarly, 30 seconds, you understand who Christ is, you accept that, and then you go on a journey.
How long does it take to become a Jew?
How long?
Months?
Years.
It takes a while. I think they ask you to go to classes and things like this.
No, so realistically, how long does it take to become a Jew?
It actually takes a few years.
Like to
become
be
a Jew.
legit.
Do not evangelize.
Yeah,
Like,
so
no Jews trying to recruit
actually
you.
think about it. When is the last time a Jew came to you talking to you about becoming a Jew?
Never.
Never with me.
Never.
And I've been around a lot of them.
Well, I'd like to talk to you guys.
By the way, I had a guy, a friend of mine, I won't say his name, but he's Muslim.
Yeah.
He came, I brought him to the house. We made a meal. We sat down, we gave him food. We had a great conversation together. And then he takes out a backpack full of Qurans and books, and he gives it to me. He says, I want to talk to you about a religion of Islam.
Religion of peace.
In my house.
Tried to pitch you Islam in your house.
By the way, I respect it. I don't say it in a negative way. I respect the fact that you have the audacity to come to my house after I feed you to tell me about your religion. That's never happened to me with Jews. So what is Jews' vision and outcome? What are they trying to do? You know, maybe they want to control media. Maybe they want to control. Maybe, by the way, would I be surprised if the Jewish community goes and tries to buy up 50 podcasts the next 3 years? I would not be surprised. Would I be surprised if Qatar goes and buys 30 or 40? No. Would I be surprised if Russia goes? Would I be surprised if some new Soros of the other side gets started and buys podcasts that the messaging is what? Pro-America. Yeah, I'm not surprised. This is what's going to happen. This is the direction we're going. The next I'm telling you, the next 5-10 years, back in the days, they had something called the Oklahoma land rush. You're going to see the media rush the next 5 to 10 years for influence. And a lot of people are going to get dropped and destroyed because a lot of people will slow down because of money, fame, bad habits, cocaine, drugs, gambling, dumb shit. And some of the people, you just pay them a little bit of money and they're going to walk away. The race for media is going to be very, very interesting the next 5 or 10 years. All right, let's go to the next story. The next story has nothing to do with media. It has to do with you guys making babies. It's very simple because we're not doing enough of it, okay? U.S. birth rate hits an all-time low, folks. CDC says. All-time low at 1.59. Never in the history of America have we hit 1.59. That's absolutely terrible for America to continue getting bigger. Terrible to be at 1.5. Let me read this number to you. The fertility rate in the U.S. dropped to an all-time low, 1.59. Children being born per women inching down from a 1.62 in 2023. According to the U.S. Center for Disease Control, CDC, National was once amongst the few developed countries and a rate ensuring generational replacement in about 2.1 kids per woman, but it has been sliding down for nearly 2 decades. As more women wait longer to have children or opt out entirely, Leslie Root, a University of Colorado Boulder researcher focused on fertility and population policy, said, we're seeing that as part of an ongoing process on fertility delay. We know that the U.S. population is still growing, and we still have a natural increase, more births than death. Rob, can you pull up the number, history of birth rate in U.S.? If you can just pull it up going all the way back, I'd be curious to know what that looks like. Tom, your thoughts on the story here, 1.59.
Well, guess what? Once upon a time, we had a baby boom because men came home from serving in the war. Some didn't at the end of World War II. God rest their souls. Thank you for their service to the family. And we had a baby boom because they came home and the country of freedom had a booming economy. Things were going on. And the baby boom was a result of people coming home to have families. You know, the God tells us be fruitful and multiply, and there was a largely Judeo-Christian construct there. And now what we have is we devalue life. Kids are an inconvenience. Kids are a financial hardship. Kids are this. And we're forgetting what's there. We then turn away from marriage, and we're married less than ever. And we now look back and we say, no, wait a minute, what's happened? We're not getting married. We're not having families. We're not forming a family, and we're having fewer kids. Well, when you tell everybody that the value of a human life is negligible and is circumstantial because it's all for the best, and maybe you could just have the abortion now, maybe it's all for the best, and you make it circumstantial financial, then you tell everybody, about the value of women's independence and things, and you lose family. You lose family. So you lose family as a construct that helps build countries, and then you look back years later and you look at charts and you go, hey, wow, people are having fewer kids. And that's what's happened over time. Pat, this is the outcome. At times I talk about upstream, downstream. And it's not my theories, this is real. Upstream, we devalued the family. We devalued human life. We told men and women that they didn't have really wonderful roles in society. We told one was better than the other and one was better than the other. And we did that. And now downstream, what do we have? A shrinking, families in America where this used to be just the most wonderful thing is you want to have 3 kids, have 3 kids. Kim and I would have had more. The calendar caught up with us because we got married late. And I know, Pat, you said you would have had more.
I would have 20.
Exactly. So it's not.
And by the way, when I say 20, people, honestly.
They laugh, but you're
No,
dead
they
serious.
think I'm joking.
Yeah. I know you're serious.
I would have 20 kids.
I believe you.
Yep.
People look at you like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever.
No, this isn't sarcasm or joke. I would have 20 kids. By the way, do you know when was the highest we ever hit birth rate in America? You know what the number is?
Number? 3.5?
We hit 3.77 in 1957.
The baby boom.
That's right. 3.77 in 1957. A couple things to be thinking about, Rob. Can you pull up the average price of a home in 1957?
And now we have financial stresses on people.
Average price of a house in 1957 was what?
Sorry, that's the wrong year.
And do you have a multiple on income?
Oh, you put
like how many years
1857? Rob just went back 100 years.
Sorry.
Man. That's
Civil War
sick.
vibes.
He's like, 1957, the average price of a house was $12,220. Can you type in the average income? Oh, right there. It says it right there. Income is $5,000. So what is the average? So $5,000.
2.4 right there.
So 2.4. What is that today? What is the home to price income ratio in 2025?
Shout out to Rob.
2025. Yeah. Typer. 2025. 2.4. That number is going to be, damn. That is insane, guys. That until we figure that out. Five times.
Wow.
It's 5 times. That's tough.
And you can talk about the property tax insurance costs that are on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. On top of that. And
1957, that was very low.
And Hillary Clinton, who comes out and says, since Americans are not having kids, this is why we need immigration to come through here, meaning she was defending why we had, 15 million people come through, whatever that number is. She says, this is why we need immigration, because Americans are not having a lot of kids.
Oh, my God.
What about if we go on a campaign of people making, having families, having kids? What if we go back into the hero-making machine? Is that the one where she says that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the one, Rob. How many minutes is it?
2 minutes, 23. I can see if I can find a shorter one.
See how long it takes for it to get into it. Can you listen to it yourself before you bring it to us? Why don't you do that? So I think, to me, if we're, which, by the way, Sydney Sweeney, man, shout out to her.
I love her.
4 billion impressions after that commercial.
4 billion?
4 billion impressions.
Holy moly.
Yes. $65 million of free marketing dollars spent for American Eagle. Valuation went up $300 million. Her Q score went up. Americans looking at a girl like, oh, my God, I can now go back to being attracted to natural-looking girls. And she got a shout-out from Trump because Trump found out that apparently, I didn't even know Sweeney was a Republican. Watch this one here. Go ahead,
Actress Sydney Sweeney had came out this weekend that she was a registered Republican, and he was?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a very hot actress right
She's
now.
a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney?
Now I love her.
You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans.
He's right.
That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
He's always having
He was on,
fun.
he was on the roof today. He was on the roof of the White House.
Yeah,
today.
he was on the roof today. But staying on this point here with kids, okay, having the kids. Vinny, do you have any thoughts on that story with hitting 1.59?
I mean, just sitting here listening to it, like as soon as you started it, I was just like, it's time to get active. Not just blindly going, I need a girl, I need to have a kid, but being more intentional about
We're in
who
Vegas. I mean, it's just like,
I get it, but I mean,
wait till we get back to Florida. At least I would wait.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've stuff in the pipeline.
No, I would wait. I would wait till we get back.
No, but being intentional.
Vinny's actually really thinking about it right now, right afterwards.
To pull the trigger.
Gonna go find a masseuse.
Yeah, no, but I think being more intentional and putting yourself in a situation where you're going to meet someone, filter up, like going to a nightclub right now and meeting a girl and expecting to start a family is stupid.
I think Adam disagrees with you on that, but go ahead, Adam.
Maybe old school, but I have some cologne for you and some old Barry White CDs.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the numbers. What do we talk about here? Words talk, numbers scream. The numbers are screaming, and it's loud. And I think getting active is
Adam.
the way to
What's
go.
on your mind on this?
I think in America we need to make moms great again. So in America, in my experience, we are way more focused on individualism than collectivism and improving society. Everyone wants to do what's right for them, and I'm totally understanding of that. I'm actually in the selfish camp. Pat and I talk about being selfish versus selfless. The time frame for a man to be selfish is a little bit different from for a woman to be selfish. So remember when the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs,
Harrison Butker
went and gave a speech
in
front of the Catholic school, and he's like, "Congratulations on graduating, everybody. But quick point, ladies, don't focus on a career. Focus on family. Career will not fulfill you. Family will." And then the women in the crowd are like, "Whoa, I just graduated. Let me at least get a job before you give me this lecture." And I'm here to tell you this. Harrison Butker is absolutely right. Going down the path where you're putting your career first and you never have a family, as a woman, is very problematic. Now, as a man, I also encourage you to eventually have kids. I don't have kids yet. I've had a lot of practice, but eventually I want to have kids, and I will have multiple kids. That is my plan. But the difference between a man being in his 40s versus a woman being in her 40s, a man, I think there's an 80+% chance of a man in his 40s with no medical involvement whatsoever to have kids. That's with no medical involvement. A woman in her 40s, there's less than a 10% chance without medical involvement to have kids. So the odds are not on your side. For the gentleman out there, if you want to be selfish, if you're in your 30s or 40s and make your money and wait to have kids, totally understand. For women to do that, there's going to be a very problematic situation. I'm not telling women to go back in the kitchen, but by the time you go back in the kitchen,
but
you might not be able to have a baby.
Though. I mean,
What's
the
that?
way I'm
One in the
feeling-
oven.
Make daddy a sandwich.
Yeah, I think that's
now.
what you're
Can I
saying.
address one thing? What Hillary Clinton said about immigration? Immigration.
By the way, let's have him actually play the clip and then let's react to it. Go ahead, Rob.
The people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants, and they want to deport them. So none of this adds up. But one of the reasons why our economy did so much better than comparable advanced economies across the world is because we actually had a replenishment, because we had a lot of immigrants, legally and undocumented, who had a larger than normal, by American standards, family. So this is just another one of their, make America great again by returning to the lifestyles and the economic arrangements of not just the 1950s. I mean, let's keep going back as far as we can and, see what happens.
I can't believe people pay for her to talk. I can't.
There's a lot of code. There's a lot of code that goes in those discussions, and I find it disgusting because there was a lot of Democrats that were devaluing immigrants. Oh, who will cut your grass? Who will do that? Yeah. Really? So you need immigrants here, and you're basically gonna, here comes a word, segregate them into the menial side of society, menial jobs? Shame on you. How can you say that? Oh, well, we need immigrants for this. We need you. So you're saying you need immigrants for your standard of living? I'm sorry. That repulses me. And I heard a lot of code and some dog whistles in the statements that were made by Hillary Clinton there. And I'm not buying it. And I don't think anybody that's come to this country should stand for it. Stand up, find yourself a career, find yourself a place, build your family here, but come here legally.
Adam.
But the whole conversation was revolved around making babies and who's making babies and immigration. So America in the future will be Hispanic. The Latinos, the Latino women are making the most babies. I think their fertility rate is above 3, whereas Christians, white women are, what's the number, 1.6, whatever it is. Now, religious Orthodox Jews, they have the highest rate, but they're not going to be taken over anytime soon. Very few of them. So America will become Hispanic sooner rather than later. Conversely, Europe, the UK, France will be Muslim in no time. What is the number one baby name in England, in the UK? It's not Chandler. It's not Kyle. It's not Willem. It's freaking Mohammed. Mohammed is numero uno. And it's going to happen in Brussels. It's going to happen in Paris. It's going to happen all over the UK. It's going to happen all over the EU. And most people in Europe, you're going to either convert or die in the next 50 years. And I'm not being shocking and I'm not being bombastic. It's going to happen. So either Europe's going to fight back or they're just going to become Muslim. Now, why would I say something like this? Because when it comes to immigration, there's 2 key points. There's either assimilation or domination. I see evidence. We talk about America becoming Hispanic. All good. Miami, half my friends are Latinos. They're Jamaicans. They're Puerto Ricans. They're Venezuelans. They're Colombians. They assimilate to America. No problema whatsoever. Show me situations where Muslims go into a country and do not end up dominating. By the way, every single Muslim city that is in Middle East today was formerly Christian. Beirut, Baghdad, Damascus, Tehran, all these cities, Cairo, we're all Christian. They are now Muslim now. I respect the hell out of what the Muslims are doing because they're not playing games. They're here to dominate. And you can either get run over or you can fight back. And in America, I'm totally comfortable with Latinos taking over, especially big booty Latinas. I am not comfortable with Muslims running America.
Well, listen, coming to a city near you, and Mamdani yesterday was with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren saying this is exactly what we need for the Democratic Party. We need exactly somebody like a Mamdani, and this is where the Democratic Party needs to go next. I'm not even going to get into that story. I'm just saying that's what they were talking about yesterday. But I want to get into another story here in regards to business. Rob, I'm going to go to where's the buy now, pay? Okay, there it is. Okay, so buy now, pay later loans. A generation is turning to buy now, pay later for Botox and concert tickets. This is a Wall Street Journal. So can you imagine people are using buy now, pay later for Botox and concert tickets? Page 16. So buy now, payday loans is the worst thing for consumers since payday loans, the BNPL. Stats are finally coming out. That has become financially destructive force with a 2023 TransUnion report showing BNPL usage soared 43% in a year, 40% of users missing at least one payment, often facing hefty late fees and aggressive collections. And a report came up indicating that in households charging insufficient funds fee, 85% would also charge an overdraft fund. BNPL is dangerous because it doesn't feel like debt, masking the risk by presenting payments as a $25 a week is an illusion, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Ashlyn Dagger, 22 years old, used BNPL loans from a firm, a financial technology company, starting at 18 years old with a 30% interest rate loan for $1,100 mattress, later financing groceries, haircuts, eyelash extensions, leading to nearly $4,600 in debt with $771 a monthly payment. She said initially it starts off with necessities, and to me, it was just $20 a month. Here, $20 a month. They're not $1,000 debt. A June report that Bank of America Institute noted a surge in such loans amongst young Americans who face a tougher employment picture and higher prices using them for necessities. Yadira Lara, 28, financed a $900 Botox and filler injections with Klarna. Think about that, okay? And a Swedish bank was a TikTok video. Before you come at me with who has that kind of money, Klarna does, and you can use Shine, Amazon, Temu, use it for your face, okay? Just make payments on it. That's what she's saying. Jeez. And now you're seeing data from National Bureau of Economic Research. Klarna reported 17% year-over-year increase in consumer credit losses, hitting $136 million in the first quarter. Tom, we've talked about BNPL before. By the way, is this the lady that's talking about she used the that's her right there.
Yes.
Tom, your thoughts on the story?
So we've been talking about this for a while. And if you go back in history, and you can go back about 15 years, the auto industry wanted to sell more cars. So they started doing what's called subprime auto loans. Subprime was their term for the lower half of the middle class subprime borrowers. So there was higher risk, but higher interest rates. And the auto industry loved it because they were able to sell more cars to say, you can get in the car with a payment, not telling them that $15,000 Toyota Corolla was going to cost you almost $20,000 by the time you're done with that 14% loan. So that's typically how sectors of the economy have used alternative financing to get to next levels of consumers. And unfortunately, those levels of consumers are thinking payment. They're not thinking about ultimate cost. Guess what? BNPL originally was not on credit reports. And on this podcast, we were screaming about it, saying people don't necessarily understand what they're doing. And we saw what happened on Black Friday. Remember that, Vinny? Mm-hmm. We were looking at those Black Friday stats. And then what happened on Valentine's Day? Happy Valentine's Day. I'm missing a payment. Missing a payment on the TV that I bought at 18% or more interest rate. Now, within the last 12 months, we on this podcast, we cheered when BNPL had to be on your credit report. Why is that important? The credit report is an important mechanism so that consumers know what they can afford, but they're also rated appropriately, and consumers with less education about how these mechanisms work could be controlled on who can say, hey, you don't qualify. Why don't I qualify? You have too much debt. What do I have too much debt on? And there could be some sort of a counseling or a discussion or a triggering mechanism to get them to do it. And then credit card companies start giving you free access to your credit report. That's a good thing. Now we're seeing here BNPL is being used for things like Botox. BNPL average is almost 6 months. I looked up this morning and they said Botox in your forehead or for wrinkles, in your face is about a 3.5 month. Then the Botox wears off. And by the time you get to 4 and 5 months, the wrinkles and things are coming back. So that means that if you keep BNPL for an average of 5.5, 6 months, it's a month and a half after the Botox is worn off. And you're
Tom,
paying.
that's been you're saying that's been your experience.
Because I know you're
Let me take a look.
It's horrible.
Let me take a look, Tom.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I gave up on it.
Tom, you don't look a day over 60.
I stopped the Botox for this reason. And they put the BNPL on my credit report. I was all pissed off.
Yeah, it's all good.
But the point here is now we are getting into teenagers and young people in their 20s, young adults who are putting this using BNPL because to sell you the Botox, guess what they're doing? If your credit card doesn't have enough limit and say, oh, PayPal. Well, PayPal's connected to my checking account, my credit cards. I can go to Klarna and Affirm. And then Klarna and Affirm talk about, Klarna says 136 million in your consumer credit losses. BNPL is turning out to be not a convenience to turn purchasing a TV.
Tom, the reality of it
payments.
is the following. Here's the reality of it. The other day, I'm driving in my car with Brooklyn and Senna and Dylan. And Dylan says, I think they should make cigarettes illegal if it kills people. Really? Yeah. Okay. How many people you think die from cigarettes versus car accidents? I don't know. I said, so we looked at the numbers, whatever the number was, 35,000 people die every year from car accidents, and then number of people that die from cigarettes, it was astronomical, like 10 times more, give or take. I think if the number shows up, cigarettes, 480, car accidents, 40,000. I said 40,000 people die from car accidents every year. Should we make cars illegal? No. Should we make cigarettes illegal? Yes. Why? Well, because I think we should make it illegal. Should we make alcohol illegal? I don't think so. Why not? Alcohol also kills a lot of people. So the reality of it is the following. You go to the store, you have to control yourself from not using it.
Yep.
we can put the onus on the companies, but if you can't afford to buy something, don't buy it. If you can't afford to go buy something that's out of your league and you're trying to impress somebody, don't do it. First time I bought a Rolex, I was 35 years old. I could afford a Rolex at 26 years old. I didn't buy a Rolex till I was 35 years old. I didn't have a need to. I waited. I put the cash aside to kind of. So I do understand when we make these videos and the stuff that we say about BNPL and what they're doing and credit card companies, all this other stuff. You know what I found? I wish I would have brought my backpack. I brought a bunch of props to show. I found a financing company in Clarksville, Kentucky called FMAC. FMAC, if you're still around, you guys got me good at 18 years old.
What does that F stand for?
Financial. Type in FMAC. What does it stand?
Because if it's the word I'm thinking of, I'm just going to apologize in advance.
Type in FMAC Clarksville. Can you type in FMAC? They're probably out of business. They're probably not even around. Type in FMAC Clarksville, just in one word, Rob. FMAC Clarksville. And if you just put it in Google, it should come up. Just put it in Google. Let's see what comes up. FMAC Clarksville. I remember these guys.
Oh.
No, it's FMAC Clarksville. So I'll find what the name of it is. I have the whole contract. I bought a Mitsubishi Eclipse in 1997.
It's a great car, actually.
Do you know what my interest rate was on the car, Tom?
At least 20%.
What year?
1997.
Double digits. Double digits.
I will say 14 to 16.
31%.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
I'm going to show it.
Unbelievable.
Tomorrow night. 31%
That's
for
crazy.
Mitsubishi
It's a credit
Eclipse.
card.
Credit
You're putting it
cards
on a
were
credit
capping
card.
at 28.75.
Tom, when I show it to you today, if I have the backpack, Mateo, do we have my? No, I didn't bring. Did I bring my backpack with us here? Did you see me carrying a backpack?
I don't know.
I think I just brought my iPad. If I had it, I would. It was a red Mitsubishi Eclipse. It was a 1990 Mitsubishi Eclipse. It was a used one. I couldn't afford a brand new one. That's the one right there. Look at that. Sick.
A great car.
Turbo.
That's you. Wow.
Man, it's got so many stories in it. It's not even funny. Look how beautiful that car is. Red Mitsubishi Eclipse. 31%. So let me ask you, is it FMAC's fault?
No.
Or is it PBD's fault?
It's PBD's fault.
A part of it you're going to go to.
I just want PBD to be given all the information when he purchases it.
I'm fully with you. I am fully with you.
But then you know what? Be smart, be dumb, read it, don't read it. It's on the consumer.
It's on you. So what I'm trying to say is the word that you talk about with the kids is what? Restrain. 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 Adam, thoughts on this before we move on to the next one?
Most people are sleepwalking with their finances while daydreaming of their dream life. I see it all the time. Buy now, pay later is just a symptom of a larger problem, which is that people are just obsessed with stuff. People are obsessed with things. And then people end up becoming obsessed with debt. It starts with student loans, 6%. All right, that's 50 grand. Okay, boom. Then you get credit cards. That's 25%. You want to go get a nice Mitsubishi Eclipse. You're paying 31% before you know it. Then you get buy now, pay later. That's another 30%. Then you end up doing payday loans, 300%. Cash advances, 300%. Do you ever wonder why the average household in America, do you know what the average household debt in America is? 100 grand. Every single person in America is minus $100,000 if you do the math. Why is this? Because we all go to school, we take the same useless classes, algebra, biology, chemistry.
Gender studies.
No money classes. Vinny did his gender studies, he's looking great. No money classes. So we sleepwalk throughout life and we wonder, why am I not rich? Everyone's rich out there, why am I not rich? The average person, this is what my whole thing is, the average person will be broke. The broke person will stay poor. Rich people will continue to get rich. Why? It's not because they try harder. It's because they're better. That's an element. It's because they just understand money better. So, Pat, you asked, is it on the bank, the car? Is it on you? It's on you. It's why it's called personal finance. Okay? Why are some kids raised better than others? Because it's on the parent to teach the kids. It's on you to get better with your money. Save that money.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I think no matter who you are, whatever you're doing, use that money for books, conferences, events, ways to online courses that's going to teach you how to code. And by the way, whether it's you, there's plenty of places to go to learn how to code. My son is taking an online course right now on coding. You know why? Watch this here. I'll give you 2 stories. Parents, this is for you. Listen up. Share it with your kids. Kids, if you're listening, I want you to pay attention to this story. If you're 10 to 17 years old, even 8 to 17 years old, pay attention to the story. Meta, to the old folks, Facebook, dishes out $250 million. It's $250 million to not a 50-year-old engineer, not a 40-year-old, not a 30-year-old, a 24-year-old AI whiz kid. We have reached the climax of the revenge of the nerds. 2 stories I'm going to give you. That's one of them. The other one I tell you, you will be shocked. Rob, can you pull up the New York Post story first, and then we'll go to the Wall Street Journal story? Parents, listen up, parents. Watch this. So Meta offered this 24-year-old researcher, Matt Deitke. I'm going to pronounce the last name properly. I didn't say I said Deitke. Okay, a $250 million compensation package, doubling an initial offer of $125 million offer after he, who dropped out of a University of Washington computer science doctoral program, turned it down, with Professor David Autor, an economist at MIT, telling the Post on Friday, when computer scientists are paid like professional athletes, we have reached the climax of revenge of the nerds. Deitke, who led development of the Momo AI chatbot at Seattle's Allen Institute for Artificial Intelligence, co-founded Vercept, a startup focused on autonomous AI agents, joined Meta Superintelligence Labs. His work on 3D data assets and multimodal models, literally says multimodal models, earned an outstanding paper award in 2022. Meta's aggressive talent acquisition, including a $1 billion spent to build an all-star AI roster, saw Deitke deal as one of the largest in corporate history, with Roming Pang, former head of Apple AI modern teams, also lured $400 million. And by the way, all of this stuff that was said, that's not even the biggest one. Rob, can you go to the Wall Street Journal one? Look at this one, folks. Thanks for your $1 billion offer, Mark Zuckerberg, but I'm going to pass.
What?
Did you hear this?
That's unbelievable.
Guy gets a $1 billion job offer, and he says no. Look at that story. The loyalties and larger-than-life figures prompting some people to turn down insanely lucrative offers in Silicon Valley. He offered originally $250 million compensation package, potentially worth $1.5 billion over 6 years, to Andrew Tullock, a leading researcher and co-founder of Thinking Machines Lab, founded by former OpenAI chief technology officer Mira. But Tullock and all colleagues rejected the offer. Zuckerberg initially tried to buy Thinking Machine Labs, and after Murati declined it, he targeted over a dozen of its roughly 50 employees, with Meta spokesman Andy Stone calling the offer's description inaccurate and ridiculous, noting compensation depends on stock performance. Professor David Autor, an MIT economist, told the Post when computer science was the same line that we got here. So, Tom, $250 million, $1 billion offer gets turned down. What is going on here with these engineers?
Well, let's go find out what's going on with these engineers. Here's what's going on with the engineers. There is an AI land rush that is going on right now, and Meta, and here comes, this is the BizDoc quick case study. Meta, for 2 years, we've been seeing more headlines, Vinny, about people using Facebook in its old way, or have we been finding, man, this is bad for girls, this is bad for young kids, 14-year-olds shouldn't be on this. Yep. Australia slams Mark Zuckerberg's hand in the door with legislation. Yep. Remember that? Good. Under 16, going on that. So guess what? Meta has to get in the game. They create the Superintelligence Lab. Google has Gemini. And Google's market cap right now, I'll tell you in 1 second, Google market cap right now, $2.368 trillion. Meta, only $1.9 trillion. Microsoft, $4 trillion. So you've got Google is running Gemini. That's their play. Microsoft is putting autopilot everywhere. You can't get away from autopilot. It keeps showing up everywhere you're going. And so Meta has to get into AI race, and they need to have something. Mark Zuckerberg says it's going to be the Super Intelligence Lab. That's what our product is. That's what our play is going to be. And they have poached a big guy from Apple 2.5 weeks ago. Now then, let's talk about that's what's happening. So they're poaching talent. Silicon Valley has been poaching talent forever. You used to, during COVID, Pat talked about it on the podcast. During COVID, we talked about Pat. At lunch, a guy would walk across the street, have a 15% bigger offer, come back to his boss and say, hey, at lunch, I ran a guy in line at Quiznos, and I could get, instead of 150, I could get, 170. What do you say? Hang on a second. All right, we'll give you 175 to stay. And all of a sudden, you had a lunch raise. But now those days kind of ended. This is the land rush. So why are these numbers so big? Because they're putting stacks of stock in front of them saying, and by the way, these are $500,000 and $1 million salaries that are underneath this. These are big salaries. But then they're putting the stock on top of it. And the compensation guy there at Meta said, hang on, man, you were also reporting, he was correct. That quote that was at the very end of what Pat just read said, oh, well, there's a lot of stock here and you don't understand about the future value. It could be this, it could be that, or it could be $1 billion. But that doesn't change the fact that they're making big, big offers, and Meta trying to get superintelligence going, competing with Gemini, competing with Perplexity, competing with Autopilot, and with Facebook getting pressures internationally on usage. This is basically Mark Zuckerberg's next innovative campaign and next product thrust.
Yep. Adam, your thoughts?
The first thing that comes to mind is, let's get those nerds. Have you ever seen the movie The Revenge of the Nerds?
Every single one of them.
It's the best movie. It's amazing.
Booger was my favorite guy.
It's an 80s underdog story where these bullied nerds basically get their revenge on the jocks. You liked Booger. There was the guy Ogre, right? These guys, these nerds end up outsmarting, out-hustling, outwitting, out-partying the jocks. And they end up getting the girl, the notoriety, and then they win the competition in the end. But the message here is that over time, if you play the long game, brains are going to beat brawn every single time. The pocket protector, so to speak, is going to beat the helmet and the pads. So for the young people out there that are looking to be cool and party and have all the fun, play the long game, because there's someone who sits very close to me that I see all the time, and I go, look at this guy. He's a multimillionaire. He's got a family. He's got kids. And I guarantee you, he was rooting for the nerds over the jocks. Isn't that right, Tom?
Absolutely. I was a nerd. I wasn't a computer science. I wasn't a coder, but I was a nerd. Completely.
You're not a nerd now, Tom. I'm telling you
You're
that
part
right
of the
now.
cool guy.
You're a stud of a Ferrari, Tom.
There's a girl dad. I'm sort of a dad geek.
Chicks are throwing themselves at. You seen Tom walking through the lobby yesterday? Girls were throwing them. Adam had to stop
I had to be
girls.
security for Tom.
Chicks were like, "Is that Tom Ellsworth?" Jumping on Tom with that.
It was pretty bad.
The best dog.
It was pretty bad.
Tell your story being Revenge of the Nerd versus the Jock. I can assume, I could see you being part of Lambda, Omega Mu.
Well,
Tom's just.
I'm more of a geek than a nerd.
What?
No, you're a stud.
What's the difference between a geek and a nerd?
Well, so a geek is kind of a nerd is kind of as Revenge of the Nerds, the guys that were programmers and all that. The geeks are the kind of the people that are friends of the nerds, understand them, and they propel the nerds forward because they know what their capabilities are. So we are there to say, follow me, nerds. We're going to the top of the mountain.
I love it. You ever seen the movie Mean Girls when she goes, I'm not just a mom, I'm a cool mom. Here's what I'll tell you. You're not just a geek. You're a cool geek, Tom.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much. Nice. And
Adam watches Mean
I have
Girls,
a daughter
guys.
taking not one.
That's what I learned right there.
It's a great movie.
All right, let's. Out of everything I learned there, he doesn't watch Squid
Game.
By the way, oh my God!
Don't, Pat. We'll do an entire segment right now on your Squid Games breakdown.
Addicted to this season 1. My son comes back from 3 weeks at one of these schools where they do this kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
People that become presidents.
Geeks, you mean?
He comes back and he introduced me to Squid Games. We finished season 1. I'm going to do an entire I don't even want to get into it. It was I can't even tell you. Episodes 6 and 9 were ridiculous. Episodes 6 and 9 were ridiculous.
Which were the two numbers?
6
and 9 were ridiculous. Now, I'm telling you, and I'm not joking with you. Those 2 episodes were ridiculous. Okay, let me go to 2 stories here. One of the stories I'm going to go to Vinny. I'm coming to you with this one because you specialize in this story.
Yes.
A gay couple goes viral.
Hey, Vinny.
for...
Stop it, PBD.
Stop. You're so silly with
Why are
your
you
stories.
slithering like a
This
snake?
is your story. You picked the story.
I know.
It's your story, Vinny.
Gay couple goes
that's
viral
Vinny's
for
boyfriend.
baby surrogacy video. One later identified as Pennsylvania registered sex offender.
Whoa. That was them. Yeah.
Rob, can we play it without the music?
Yes.
Go ahead and play it, Rob. So this is them. Like, congratulations. They got a kid and two fathers. Yet, I don't know if you see the picture on the bottom right. What does it say, Rob? 6312?
Sexual abuse of children was his primary offense. Brandon Keith Riley Mitchell, according to this report, was registered as a sex offender on the 6th of October, 2016.
And by the way, this is in Michigan, okay? This is in the state of Michigan with this story. Let me just read it to you, and then I'm going to come to because I have a problem with this. I have a problem with it. Let me just read it.
I can't even
Let me
speak.
just read it to you. Let me just read it to you. Okay, so
Let the boy walk.
well, that's the
let
problem.
Pat
No, I don't want
read.
the boy to watch.
No.
Exactly.
I want the
Don't
boy
want
not
that.
to watch these
I
two
agree.
guys. That's the problem. Daddy, what are you guys doing? No, we don't want that. So, Brandon Keith Mitchell and writers. Okay, got it. Okay, so crowdfunded surrogacy birth with a husband, Logan Riley, is a registered Tier 1 sex offender in Pennsylvania, stemming from a 2016 arrest for attempting to solicit a 16-year-old boy for sexual activity, as reported by Redux. The outlet stated Brandon Keith Mitchell is a Tier 1 sex offender in the state of Pennsylvania and arrested in 2016 for doing that. Court records indicate Mitchell, a former chemistry teacher at Downingtown West High School, exchanged over 12,000 text messages with the teenager. 12,000 text messages.
12,000.
With a teenager, and a police search uncovered hundreds of sexually explicit videos of the victim on his laptop. Mitchell was charged with multiple felonies, including possession of child pornography, sexual abuse of children, endangering the welfare of children, and corruption of minors, according to a press release from Chester County District Attorney's Office dated February 9th of 2016. Authorities confirmed Mitchell exchanged nude photos with sexually suggestive text messages with a male student, a junior under 18, on multiple occasions, though his defense attorney, Peter Cross, has said there's no allegations of physical contact with any student. Vinny, your thoughts on this story?
Absolute pure evil. Okay, you can't even adopt a dog if you're on the sex registry. Okay, but this guy got a freaking a baby like he was ordering it off of Amazon, and it's like that's how broken our system is. And I'm sorry, this is my opinion, how I feel. I don't think a gay couple of men should be adopting. You shouldn't be buying some kid to have at your house. I'm sorry. It's unnatural. It should be a father and a mother, because these are the type of instances that happen. And even if it's one. God knows how many more are out there, okay? And I've said this how many times, okay? And it kills me to see that child. I hope, have they taken the child away, Tom? I mean, Rob, have they taken the kid away from the...
I have not seen it.
Okay, so they haven't yet. So, and I said this multiple times, okay, guys? Children are the most overlooked and abused group on this freaking planet, okay? From the beginning, the schools brainwash them and sexualize them with the LGBTQ push. We don't give a damn how many of them are missing at the border. 300,000, they just go missing. Planned Parenthood murders them, okay? What chance? What chance do they have? And then you have freaking these couples, gay couples, where one of them is a freaking sex offender to underage kids, to 12-year-olds. What do you think that kid's going to do? They're going to do this kid when he gets older. He has to change them. They have to see him naked. They have to see his penis. They have to clean this thing. And you're doing that with 12. This kid's going to grow up to be 12, okay? And it just drives me nuts, Pat. These kids have no voice. They have no lobby. They have no protection. And what does it say? Slip through the cracks. Are you freaking kidding me? How the hell do we keep letting this crap happen? And I've seen other reports. I saw, I'm not going to get into it, Pat, but there's two other stories that I sent to Rob. They're catching these people's left and right. Guys, the pedophile problem around the world, and including our country, is insane. Put the Jeffrey Epstein aside. That's okay, the blackmail operation. Just another reverend I saw was spotted. He's a reverend, Pat, Reverend Roger Hankey. Rob, I sent you this clip.
I have it.
And by the way, guys, this is all allegedly.
San Diego pastor, yeah.
San Diego pastor at St. John's Episcopal Church.
Did you see the video of the guy pulled up to the
That's
door
what I'm
and
gonna
he says, you want to talk in front of your...
And he says, no, in front of your lover?
Yeah.
And this is happening way more than often. It's just not getting freaking reported. All right, these people are everywhere, guys. And I urge everybody, be freaking careful. This guy's a reverend at a church, and he was caught, Rob, right there. Can you play that one? I want you guys to see this. This is and Rob, what's the name of the company that goes out? What's the name?
Down in the corner, People versus
Preds. This is him.
Press the video.
Yeah, go ahead.
How's it going, Roger? You want to talk to me privately, or do you want your boyfriend to find out, or your husband? What?
What?
I mean, do you want to talk to me privately outside?
Nice Porsche. This happens so many.
I mean, like I said, I don't want him to hear. Otherwise, we can tell him if you want. It's a picture of you.
He's showing him photos of him.
You want to go walk and talk. We just want to keep it private.
What do you want to do?
I mean, I want to talk to you about the conversations you were having with the people that were talking to you on Grindr.
Okay, so Rob, you can pause it. So he's allegedly he's confronting him because he was on Grindr and trying to holler at somebody that he thought was 14 and 15. These demons, I know Jake is listening. These demons are they're out there, guys, and it's happening more than often, Pat. And this is man, it just drives me crazy. They're everywhere, and I love it. It could be priests, it could be your neighbor, it could be a coach. They're out there, and the fact that the other guy, the main story, he's already convicted. How the hell is he adopting a child? What are we even talking about, Tom?
So there's two things here, three things here. The first thing is I don't necessarily, you can feel very strongly, as I do, about what it takes to raise kids and the role of a natural mother and natural father in raising those kids. And I feel very strongly about it. I also recognize that the law, under the John Roberts decisions, that same-sex people can get married. And under the law, same-sex people can adopt. However, when anyone is adopting, anyone, they don't have to be same-sex to be a predator. They don't have to be same-sex to be a risk to children. When they're adopting, the full and complete background check has to happen so that these things don't fall through the cracks. It says, I don't care whether it's a gay couple or a heterosexual couple, if that one of those in those relationships is a predator with a record that had to resign from a workplace, that's not like a minor offense that's trapped in a clerical error. This guy had a very real thing and resigned as a teacher, did he not?
Yes.
So I feel very, very strongly about that. The third point I feel strongly about is this is why you have to watch what your kids are watching. This is why the parents everywhere need to be vigilant. There are things happening online. You have to be so vigilant. This is why 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds shouldn't have phones. One of my daughters had a phone. She took it to swim, brought it back, puts it in the kitchen. That's it. It's done. I gave a little bit too much permission, and I reeled it back. I read a great book about things. I reeled it back, and I said, you know what? You're right. It says her older sister didn't have any Instagram until she was a senior and was a senior group from school, and it was yearbook photos circulated, and I monitored it. That's so dangerous. So point one, it is legal for people to get married. It's legal for people to adopt. Point two, background checks have to be better. This nation has to stand up for it. And then point three, I'm with Vinny on point three. These kids are getting exploited, and the first line of defense needs to be their own parents.
Dude, well, here's my question, Tom, and I respect everything that you're saying, especially with the parents and being accountable. But can we be honest with each other, Pat, Tom, Adam? You think it's okay, honestly, genuinely, a gay male couple to adopt a male boy that's not this is a strange, this is not blood, and you're seeing his penis in your face, and he's gonna get older. That's gonna be a naked stranger in your house. That's a naked kid in your house. That you're going to be, I'm very uncomfortable with that. I'm very uncomfortable with that.
It's legal for them to do it in America, but
Tom,
I personally disagree with it.
do a lot of stuff in this.
I'll tell you, I disagree with it. I disagree with it on faith grounds. I disagree with it because I think mothers and fathers have critical roles to raising kids. But I'm recognizing where the laws stand.
I get the law.
But also saying I disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think gay couples should be able to get married. I think gay couples should be able to adopt, and I totally understand.
Legally, they are. What should?
Yeah,
I totally understand why people have objections to that. I totally get it. By the way, speaking of adopting kids, do you know what states allow gay couples to adopt kids? All 50 states. Federally. Now, there's different hurdles in different states. Now, I personally have friends a lesbian couple that adopted kids, a boy and a girl, and a gay couple that adopted boys. Dave Rubin, who we know, and his husband Dave, great parents. I'm not worried about them. Who I am worried about are child sex offenders, child molesters, predators getting access to these kids. How the hell does this sex predator fall through the cracks? What cracks? There should be so many background checks if you're a child predator to adopting kid. What? Hey, Jeffrey Epstein and his girlfriend want to adopt a couple young girls. Nobody. We need some serious background checks here. So I'm not against normal people who happen to have a different lifestyle or sexual orientation raising kids. What we need are people raising good kids. What we need is to be able to protect our kids. Because, by the way, flip it. You ready? There's a lot of straight couples who are shitty parents and raise shitty-ass kids. So just because you're gay or straight or lesbian does not mean that you're going to raise a good kid or a bad kid. We're probably going to go over this story about this normal woman who was a normal lady. She was a mom. She has a son. And her son turns out to be an absolute psychopath killer. And she enabled him. Yeah. How does that work?
I just have a problem with.
Let's not mix the stories.
But we're talking about parenting.
I just, Adam, I love and I respect everything that you're saying. I'm uncomfortable with any male.
Can you run a poll on that?
Gay couple having a naked kid with a penis in front of their face. That's a child that's not going to be able to report anything or say anything. I'm very uncomfortable with it. Who knows what is going on? Like, you know what I mean? You're a gay couple. Like, what? I don't know, man.
I get your concerns.
It's very awkward.
This is an awkward conversation, but we're having it.
Awkward situation.
But does that, like, how would you? So let's say a straight couple, like a man and a woman, adopt a little girl. So that little girl is still going to be around a man that likes women. How do you deal with that?
Adam, that's a whole different situation.
No, but the point is, you're saying attraction will lead to you doing something weird to a child.
I'm talking about
I don't know.
Unnatural.
If you, by the way, if you ran a country from start, okay, not it's a law now. If you ran a country from start, would you be okay with gay men adopting kids?
It wouldn't be my first order of business.
That's the question.
But down the list, I don't want any trans weird.
No, but would you be
stuff
comfortable
going on?
with, because here's
I would be mostly comfortable with it.
Mostly comfortable.
Yeah, I'm not entirely comfortable.
Why are you?
I'm
not,
straight.
Why
I'm
are
not
you
gay.
not?
I don't know what it's like.
Well, why are you not entirely comfortable with it?
Because Vinny does have some valid concerns. It's not a blanket statement.
Yeah. So you know, this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people because we have friends in this space that, you know, I don't know if we call friends, but I would say we have
acquaintances,
people who are in this space. And I had a very great conversation about this with Jillian at dinner one night. To me, it's not gay lesbian couples. We had a pastor at a school, at a church we used to go to, Tom, who he would get up and he was raised by a lesbian couple. He was raised by, you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
And he would openly talk about it. He talked about it in his book. It's not like he's hiding it. He's not embarrassed about it. He actually wrote a book and talked about it. This is a pastor at a church that we used to go to. But, you know, a lesbian couple is not interested in anything a man has.
Yeah.
A gay couple is interested in what you have. Sexually, they're attracted to another male. When you look at stats, you said every single 50 state, Mississippi just allowed it to be legal just 9 years ago, 2016. It was the last state. It was historically the toughest one to go through.
I think 2015 is when Obama legalized gay marriage.
So after that, it changed the game with everything that's going on. Actual adopting gay couples, kids, is a new thing. It's not a 100-year-old thing. It's a brand new thing.
Oh, I agree.
So here's the
is gay
point.
marriage.
But the point I'm trying to make to you is, we don't even have, like, I remember when they started doing books on steroids. When steroids first came out, everybody was like, well, steroids, they're not bad for you. They're this or that. And I'm like, you know, yeah, your testosterone level being a certain level, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, it could be good for men because, you know, if your testosterone is lower, you feel insecure, you're not a good husband because you can't perform and you don't feel good about yourself. Maybe it's better for you to raise your, okay. Then we got a little bit smarter with testosterone and steroids. But then we learned a lot of people that also overdid it. And in bodybuilding, every year people would die. And I would get text messages for all the Mr. Olympia people dying, right? It's such a new thing that we don't yet have enough data to sit there and say this is good or bad.
You're right.
So to me, a part of it, I'm not comfortable with because it's all about odds. It's all about odds. I'm a married man. If I lived in a house with 30 bombshell models and it was a test, these girls are going to wear 2-piece swimsuits all day, every day. You're going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them, and you're living in this 20-bedroom mansion with 20 models. How many days could you last? I'm a man very comfortable saying it. I'm not taking up that challenge.
I will sign up for this job.
I know
sir.
you would.
What
but
am I going to do?
You,
I am here for duty, sir.
Yeah, you.
It is my duty to please that booty.
And for you, it would be easy.
Yeah.
But for me to think, oh, I am so, freaking strong as a Christian man. Are you out of your freaking mind?
As a Christian man, I volunteer.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, but you have to understand yourself. Like when I travel, I like to travel with a crew.
Yeah.
My neck goes the same places. We have a guy, I won't say his name because I don't want to put him on blast. He knows who he is. This guy could spot a girl. His radar, you understand what I'm saying?
Very good. I'm good. He's
no.
really
Vinny,
good.
you're amateur compared to him.
Well, Vinny's gaydar is off the chart.
Yeah.
His radar to find anything voluptuous, round, anything, right? He will go into a room. And all I do is I just look at his eyes and boom, and I'm like, what's he looking at? Oh, shoot. By the way, you got it good as well.
I'm good.
No, you're good. No, bro, you're not tier 1. You're tier 3. He's tier 1.
I'm blind.
Can I tell you really fast about me and this guy, Adam, are having a moment. Like we're having something's going on with my family, and we're like in a kind of a
You
crowd.
remember this?
Listen, and we're talking, and like we had a moment like this, and we're looking at each other, and he's like, yeah, man, it's I'm with you, but it just really quick. A girl just walked in. She's ridiculous. I go, dude, my cousin's not doing well. He's like, look over there. And it was a 10.
He is that good.
He is ridiculous.
But going back to the story,
to
me, it's, I just don't want to put men in a position who like other men to do something stupid.
Yeah.
That, especially with kids.
So,
because if you want a dude with another man, bro, you're an adult.
Congrats.
I don't care. I've been to hundreds of clubs in my life. The best clubs I went to were gay clubs. It's not even close.
Adam loves those.
No. But I'm telling you, you know what made gay clubs the best? Girls went there to not have anyone flirt with them.
Exactly.
And it was by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they're like, listen, man, I mean, I can only do gay men for so long. I want a straight guy.
Yeah.
Like,
woo!
Right here, buddy. We're in town.
It's called the Blue Ocean
Soldiers in uniform. It was the ultimate Blue Ocean strategy.
That's true.
Right, that we're talking about.
Okay, I want to see how comfortable you are. I want a real life example.
Here we go.
Let's say Vinny and I, do a Chuck and Larry type
Got
thing.
married.
We get married.
For
and we
tax
want a
purposes.
Kid.
Tax purposes.
What are you comfortable with Vinny and Adam adopting?
Nothing.
Zero.
No, nothing.
We cannot adopt a boy?
Nothing.
We cannot adopt a girl?
No, because men are different. Men are very different than women. No. Men are very let me tell you.
So Vinny and I cannot adopt.
Bro, when we stay at a house together, Tom knows this. Do you know how overprotective I am of his girls, of my boys? I don't like anybody being on the second floor. I got a very basic rule. And we're living in a big house, so unfortunately, sometimes you can lose people because the house is not like a small house. It's like, you got to go walk around to find
somebody. It's like the haunted house with the pink room.
I am not okay with kids being on the second floor without me being on the second floor, parent being present.
Good.
Because why? I don't think my kids are bad kids. I don't think anybody's kids are. But I know you're a man. You're a boy.
Okay.
Boys are wired in a very different way.
Give a follow-up question. How comfortable are you with two women adopting?
I'm more comfortable.
Okay. So then here's the question. You've seen the stats.
Yes.
About a lack of a father in the home.
Yes.
So now you have double woman.
Yes.
And no father in the home. How will those kids turn out? Because here's my thoughts. At the
Are
very
you asking
least,
a question?
Yes.
Let me make the statement.
Yes.
Okay. It's better than a foster home.
What is?
Two mothers raising a boy is better than what happens at foster home.
Walk me through the hierarchy of what you think is the most beneficial for a child's outcome.
Foster stuff.
Beneficial, number one, is a father and a mother, I assume, right?
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Walk me through that. So then it's what? Single mother? Then it's a lesbian couple?
No. I'm going to go
gay
mother.
couple?
No.
Okay.
I'll give it to you clearly.
Please.
Mom and dad, married, raising kids.
Totally understand. Nuclear family.
Nuclear family. Number two is mother with a stepdad that's a good dad raising kids. A lot of kids, you see these videos, the dad was a deadbeat dad, a good dad comes in, and later on the kid changes the jersey on the football saying, I'm playing with my stepdad's name because my dad wasn't in the picture.
Copy that.
Yes, a man that wants to be a great father, a woman could marry a scumbag, and she goes and marries somebody else. That's number 2. Number 3, a father raising kids without the mother.
Got it.
Number 4, a mother raising kids, single. Then after that, to me, nothing. That's it.
So
Nothing.
lesbians not able to adopt.
If I have to choose, and that's the conversation I have with Jillian, because it's different with boys. When it's in that setting, then boys. I'm with 2 men. It's a very different conversation.
So then foster home.
No, fosters.
Where does that fall on this list?
Foster homes get nasty. But to me, it doesn't go back to 2 men.
Okay.
And to me, I will never be comfortable with this, ever. Because I've been a man for 46 years. And by the way, do you know how controversial of a position this is to take in our community for me to take?
I totally understand. Are you comfortable with 2 men adopting a baby girl?
No, not at all.
Not even a girl?
No, not at all.
Why?
Nothing.
Wow.
If you've chosen to be a gay couple, go enjoy yourselves. I don't want no kids to be in that environment.
Yep.
I'm not.
But you're comfortable with a lesbian
By the way,
couple.
for me, it's black and white. There's no gray area for me here. With a gay couple, you want to be together, go handle your business. Keep it to yourself. I have no hard feelings over it. When it comes to kids, I am naturally a protective person when it comes down to stories.
Are you comfortable with gay marriage and not adopting? Just gay marriage alone?
Am I comfortable with gay marriage? I'm not. I'm with them being together. But if you want to put the tax benefits, there has to be a certain way to say, for tax purposes, yes, but I'm not for that either. So that's an Obama law. But it's a law today, and it is what it is. But for me, I'm not, my job isn't to protect gay couples. My job as a man is to protect kids. If I see outside something happens to a kid, my natural reaction kicks in within seconds. I can't help myself. I'm at an ice cream place the other day, and this mother is with her son, and the son says, what did he say to her? I said this the other day.
Kicking something or being...
He's like, I'm not going to get your ice cream because the way you behaved earlier. You're such a dumbass.
Oh,
what?
You're a dumbass. And by the way, Senna and Dylan look at me. They look at me like, what's going on? By the way, he's doing it in front of us. He's probably Tico's age.
Oh,
Mom, you're such a dumbass. There's no father in the picture. I wanted to smack him upside his head. I said, say that one more time.
To hit kids.
I can't do that. No, I can't do that. But that's America for you. So to me, you know, the level of respect and some of this behavior, and I'm going to lose, some people that are going, I can't believe you're this. You're so out of touch. Listen, values, principles. You know, everybody has their own story. I'm black and white.
I think you're not going to make many new friends from saying this, meaning there's some people that are upset, but I respect the hell out of that's how you feel.
I'm not, I guarantee you the same people that may not happy with the position I'm taking, they will respect the fact that I don't fear walking on eggshells to not tell you on what I believe in this position.
Respect.
Here. I'm very comfortable with that. This is not an area that you can change my mind on. It's black and white for me. All right. So let's go to what time we got, Rob? 11:19. Can we do one more? Is there a story we haven't hit that we should hit? Is there a story? I feel like we hit all the main stories that we wanted, Rob. Did I miss anything? Oh, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Okay. What? So this is what? This is
Tucker with Candace Owens, where they talk about Tucker finding out that his father was part of the CIA.
Oh, okay. Go for it. Play this clip.
The only reason I know who he is.
Oh, sorry, I have it on double speed.
That's my boy, Rob. That's how we roll.
You can do that, but Rob just...
The only reason I know who he is because someone sent me a video a few years ago of him attacking me, and I was like, so I'm looking at this, and I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit, and I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So it's like, wow, lots of talent, native talent, and he's attacking my dad as a CIA, his dad's in the CIA or whatever, and I'm like, well, that's no, untrue. Then my father dies, and I learn actually, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year. And I'm like, well, how the hell would this child from Chicago, my dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who does this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence. How would he know that? And I
Wait, so that was his critique of you? Because I didn't see it. It was
yeah,
like, he's like,
someone just sent me this video and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA and he's a CIA, working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
Right.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
well, if it helps, he said I'm funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did a thing and said I was funded by Russia.
But you would be a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA, because you would never take Russian money, and you're not Russian.
Did he just say what I think?
Yeah,
go back 5 seconds.
I mean, that's
go
like
back
CIA,
what?
You would never take Russian
Go back
money.
no more,
Go
Rob.
back 10 seconds, Rob.
But a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA, because you would never take Russian money.
So funny.
But you're
not
saying
Russian,
that you'd be
but-
you over me.
But I mean, I really hate the CIA, and I mean, I mean, that's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's like personal for you.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, like, who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in the same.
Okay, you can pause it at that point. So this is what? This is and what is this, Rob?
So this is Tucker Carlson, even though the whole basis of this conversation is that Nick Fuentes was criticizing Tucker Carlson for his father's ties to the CIA. In that clip, Tucker Carlson says he found out that his father was in the CIA when his father died in March of this year. But here's a clip from the Sean Ryan show in 2024 where Tucker talks about his father being part of the CIA. So there's no way that he found out in June of 2024, made those comments in June of 2024, but then just found out in March.
Let me see this.
And so when I applied to CIA, and I've taken a lot of crap, including from Putin, like, oh, you're from a CIA family. Well, yeah, obviously my father worked in conjunction with CIA. I mean, that's what that is.
Wow.
And I tried to join the CIA, but I'm not being false about it. Native talent.
And then here's a clip of Nick Fuentes talking about Tucker Carlson after that clip went public.
I'm being accused of being the CIA by Peter Thiel's best boys, by Tucker Carlson with his daddy. Tucker Carlson's, and you know what? Here's the other thing. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right. Well, okay, you're not right about all of that. But I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Tucker Carlson says I have so many trust funds I never have to work. Tucker went to a $45,000 per year private high school, then a $45,000 per year selective Ivy League school in New England. Tucker Carlson's daddy was a Reagan appointee.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after years of bragging about being an elite, bragging about being so out of touch and so rich, now he's going to be the spokesperson for all the white people. Now he's going to roll up his sleeves. I just like to hunt and fish in my log cabin. I care about Klarna and credit card debt. But then when it comes to me, I'm one of the real disaffected white people. You want to talk about me and them? I am them. He says Nick Fuentes is leading all of the disaffected young white men. I am a disaffected young white man. I was a precocious, intelligent, young white college student who went to Boston University, who was pro-Trump and red-pilled by Trump and animated by Trump's message of America first. And I asked questions about Israel, and I was punished for it. I did it years before Tucker Carlson started talking about Israel last year. And I sacrificed, and I was targeted by the ADL, by the SPLC, by the federal government, by the conservative movement that both Candace and Tucker were a part of. Candace and Tucker had nothing to say about Israel until it became unavoidable last year. Not popular, but unavoidable. And now they want to gatekeep me out and do this personality attack and say I'm a bitter loser in my basement from Chicago.
You can pause this. So what do you know about this? And then, by the way, is this in conjunction with the Laura Loomer stuff that you're talking about?
I did not see the Laura Loomer stuff. Hang on one second.
Because Laura Loomer, Pat, was kind of going after.
Who sent that thing in the group text with Laura Loomer and Tucker Carlson?
Humberto, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what do you see wrong with this here? So for me, is it tough for Tucker Carlson to not want to say that his dad was CIA? Yeah. If my dad was CIA, would I publicly want to tell people that it's CIA? I don't know, your loyalty would probably be to not want to tell people your dad's CIA. If your dad wasn't CIA and you choose to become a CIA agent, it's the ultimate level of respect for your father. That doesn't mean the position that him now saying that I never knew I was until my father passed away, and he said that to Sean Ryan last year. Okay, fine, for that happened, and I get that part. But what else is the... Okay. Vinny, how are you processing this here when you're hearing Tucker and Nick Fuentes?
I mean, listen, people can say whatever they want. He's openly racist. He does whatever. You have to give credit where credit due. Nick Fuentes is really good at what he does. He's very, very good at articulating. He brings receipts. Yeah, he has said some outlandish stuff. He said, like, remember when you said that he says the N-word, and he even said during that show, he was like, Patrick Bet-David said he won't let me have it on and everything like that. In regard to...
He's so capable if he drops those words.
100%.
He's going to get a bigger, wider audience.
Which I think, Pat, to be honest with you, I think he's slow. I haven't heard it out of him. And by the way, and he said it respectfully to you. When it comes to all these other people, he has all these opinions, and it's a war. When it comes to you and your name and what you're doing, and he knows his podcast, it's a lot of respect, and he gives respect where respect is due. In regard to Tucker, I mean, you have the receipts right there. Rob just showed us that with Candace, he said he had no idea, zero idea that his dad was a part of the CIA or involved with the CIA. And then Rob gets a clip from, June 2024, where he says he knows his dad was a part of the CIA. So, from what I just saw, he got caught lying. He's blatantly lying about it. And it's like, listen, say what you want. And I think you made this point yesterday. You don't know about who's this kid, this young kid from Chicago and all this stuff. He's done his research. Tucker knows exactly who he is. He knows exactly who this kid from Chicago is. And he does, like I said, he's made a point. Tucker and Candace a little bit later than him, but Nick has been having this stance on all his positions haven't changed. His Trump position has changed because Trump has changed some of his promises in Nick's eyes. But he has been this guy from the beginning, from a very young age. He hasn't budged. And, the proof is in the pudding. We just saw what Tucker did, and he's right. He's right.
Tom.
So I am trying to get my head around all of this. It's pretty inescapable where you have one video a year before his father dies. He's talking about CIA, and then he's talking to Candace saying, I didn't know until after. Both of those videos are validated. So that's like, okay, when did you know? You're kind of caught here. And then I see Nick Fuentes, who I think is one of the most gifted debaters. Never mind his tone of voice. I don't mind his tone of voice. He's passionate, just like I don't mind you, Angry Patriot tone of voice. And I see him, gifted debater, driving it and everything. And there's really a collision coming here. And so my question really is, with Tucker, with respect, we've met him and everything. I got respect for the man. I watched him for a long time before I ever met him live. It's like there's some reality here that, just trying to get my head around. But with Nick, I see that. And then Laura Loomer, we know Laura. I have a positive, impression of her from what I've seen when she's been here. And she seems to come up with receipts. And a lot of people say, oh, she's bombastic. She's just throwing fireballs. I don't know. She seems to show up with receipts from time to time, which I think is, not to channel Al Gore, but some of those receipts Laura Loomer is throwing are like inconvenient truths that people don't want to deal with. And this whole thing it's like a pot of chili. I'm waiting to see what flavor exactly comes out of this. But it's a lot of stuff that are troubling.
Last story here before we wrap up. Adam,
I'd like more receipts.
Yep.
So regarding Tucker and Nick Fuentes and Candace and that crew, you talked about a collision course. There will be a collision course because I called this yesterday. I think this is duct tape diplomacy. These people are not all on the same page. And once you start pulling this thread, this whole thing is going to fall apart. And the one common theme with all these people is that they just hate Israel. That's it. So why is Cenk Uygur, who's a progressive atheist, and Candace Owens, who's a Catholic Christian nationalist, and Nick Fuentes, who's a Catholic, theocratic, quote-unquote, racist, anti-Semite, Tucker, who's just asking questions, Dan Bilzerian, who's this hedonist who enjoys harems, what do they have in common? Not a lot. It's just the fact that they've bonded together over their dislike or hate of Israel. So the biggest thing here with Tucker is that he weaponizes asking questions. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. Is Netanyahu Hitler? It's just me asking questions. I don't know. Was my dad who was the CIA? I don't know. You know exactly what you're doing, Tucker, when you ask these questions and you weaponize your opinion and you put it together in a nice little bow tie like you used to wear for the general public to basically absorb and be like, maybe this journalist is just asking questions. No, you're presenting your opinion in the form of a question. I think this whole crew, Nick Fuentes, Tucker, you're already seeing the rumblings. They're going to fight and it's going to get ugly. Nick Fuentes does not like Candace because she's black. Candace does not like Tucker because he's establishment. All these people don't like Dan Bilzerian. I don't think so.
Well, Candace says nothing but good things about Tucker.
It'll fall apart.
No, I don't. I think the part about Fuentes, I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't know a lot about him. All I know is when I hear him say his messaging, he's consistent with what he's saying. I have never watched.
None of these people are idiots. They're all smart.
No,
but when you're bonded by hate, it's going to fall apart and it's going to get.
Can I say one thing, Pat? Not to cut you off, Adam. Do you think? And I'm being genuine. Do you think it's hate? I think there's different levels. Like Dan Bilzerian is in full hate, anger, Jewish people. Like he's there. Yeah. But when it comes to Tucker and I think, Adam, it comes to like being having accountability and saying like, hey, listen. Like October 7th, all that, okay, whatever, we can talk about all that stuff. But it's what's happening. Like, look what's happening right now. And if they're bringing it up and we can't at least acknowledge some of the problems, and you say, Adam, I don't expect all of them to be 100% on the same page. Adam, everybody's going to have different opinions. They're completely different people. Completely different. But to say that they just hate Israel, that's a pretty out there statement to just say hate. If they have some distaste and they have some problems.
We can put together a highlight reel of the blood libel that they've said. So Tucker Carlson, let's stay there for a second. Is his father part of the CIA, and did he know it or not, and when did he know it? Based on this, it looks like he's lying to Candace Owens' face. Yes or no?
I think so.
Okay.
From what we just saw, from what from like, how about this? Not like he worked for them or around them.
Dick Carlson, really? You tell me this guy wasn't CIA? He just looks like one. Number two, I could show you tapes, so many of them. Candace Owens praising Israel, praising what Bibi Netanyahu has done, praising the Jewish people, saying that we have to stop this Muslim aggression. Not 20 years ago, not 10 years ago. 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago,
so what happened?
8 years ago.
What do you think happened?
Something happened. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
If
I could roll the tape.
Yeah.
So you know why I respect Nick Fuentes? Yeah. I don't see one video of him praising Israel, the Jews. Everything's not liking him and hating him. Stick to your position. Why is Candace Owens flipped so dramatically? By the way, same thing with Tucker. Why is he flipped so? What has happened?
Well, you heard
what's happened.
But here's my question to you: what do you honestly think it is? What do you think? Because Candace is smart as hell. Tucker, these people are smart as hell.
I think
what happened?
If I could give you a quick, if I can give you a quick summary, and I'll be super quick.
Yeah,
Tucker is the biggest faker out there because he's the elitist masquerading as a populist. Don't believe me? Roll the tape with what Nick Fuentes says. He says he's this elitist who's basically all like about hunting and whiskey. Dude, you're the only person in the history of the world that's had their own show on CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. Stop pretending you're not establishment. You've helped build the establishment, Tucker Carlson. Candace, I don't know what happened with Candace. She worked for Prager University, and she worked for Charlie Kirk with Turning Point, and all of a sudden she's the biggest anti-Israel person out there. I don't know what happened. If I would speculate, it's probably something to do with her husband, who's Catholic, and there's a form of Catholicism that absolutely hates Israel and the Jews. Don't believe me? Ask her husband, I think his name is George.
Yeah.
His father, their relationship right there. Nick Fuentes, as disgusting as some of his takes are, he's being real. And some people appreciate being real over being fake like Tucker.
But to Candace's point, do you not think maybe with Candace, besides that's your take about the father and the
That's
her
not my
husband.
take.
No, with George.
Look at the guy's
no, I'm saying,
tweets.
no, I'm saying with George.
I'm not
saying,
bringing opinions here. I'm bringing receipts.
But what I'm saying is, do you think like the actions of the government of Israel, not Jewish people around the world, the actions of the government led by Bibi Netanyahu could be a main thing that's making Candace go, wait a minute, and shift gears and change her tune? Because that's what, Adam, I feel like a lot of people's attitudes have changed because of that, the response of October 7th. And that's what it is, bro. It's like, listen, I get it, Adam. You attack us, we're attacking you back.
Okay,
America, I get it, but you have to do it strategically.
If that's the case,
yeah.
All I want her to do is criticize America until the end of time, because America has done way worse in Afghanistan, in Iraq.
You don't think she
and
has?
multiple countries around the world.
You don't think she has?
Not like this.
I guess what?
He's
heard me. You've heard me. I left the military. One of the main
He's
reasons
not talking
because
about you. He's talking about her.
That's what I'm saying. Though. She's criticizing our government.
One of
all
the most
time.
disgusting things. And actually, what's crazy is every time I've hung out with Candace, I've enjoyed my time with Candace. She's cool. She's fun. And I said this the other day. She's been infected by some sort of bug. That's what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm not speculating. I like Candace. I like Dave Smith. I like Cenk. We get along. That's what we do here. But I can absolutely disagree with some of the disgusting takes that they have. They might disagree with me. That's totally okay. But you asked a question about the father?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, well,
we can find the tweet.
No, I'm saying what you said about like what made her switch from praising Israel to now. I don't think it was the father. I think it was actions from the Israeli government. That's me. Again, that's my opinion.
Okay. War is ugly.
How much you think is what the Ben Shapiro comments and what happened at Daily Wire? You think that's?
I think that's
what
a big part
percentage of it you think is that? What started it?
And here's my question: what was the Ben thing? Because I remember Ben Shapiro was him standing on the table.
At any event,
what was it?
What do you think about Candace? He made a comment, and then from there,
was it because
I don't
she
even
was
know what he
criticized?
said,
Yeah.
but I do know he said something. I don't agree with what Candace said.
Okay,
and then she from there put Christ as king, and then the follow not king.
I think but what made Ben say something is because she was saying what about what Israel was doing. I don't remember exactly what it was. I remember him standing on the table and the event and saying,
how many kids does Candace have now? 4 kids?
4? I think so.
And I would not talk about her kids whatsoever. But I've heard Candace Owens say on her show, listen, sometimes I'm pregnant. I get emotional. I get angry. If you've been pregnant, walking around pregnant every single year for the last 5 years, you're going to have a lot of emotions and a lot of anger going on in your mind. And I think there's a lot of things she says almost like, I'm just asking questions. Well, she will weaponize an opinion in the form of a question. We've seen this clip with Ben. I think it was a bad look for Ben to call out Candace while she was still on the Daily Wire. It was not a good look.
But my question is, what did she
say?
What did she say?
She was bare.
The question was about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this has been disgraceful. Without a doubt.
You said disgraceful? Yeah. That to me is a private conversation they should have had.
Yeah. Listen. A lot of times when things like this has happened, this could have been prevented very early on by Daily Wire. It could have been prevented by Daily Wire. We're not going to rehash that. I don't want to bring that up. We've already had that
I'll
conversation.
make one comment about Ben. Probably one of the smartest people on the planet. Not a leader. Not a leader. He's a solo guy. I don't see people say, all right, Ben's going to lead the meeting. Let's all get galvanized. Pat's a leader. I mean, we're here in Vegas. There's going to be 10,000 people in an auditorium at a company he built. Ben is a smart, sharp, capable solo act. Nobody's better at debating college kids, going into a crowded room or being on a show and holding his own. Nobody's better.
Charlie Kirk.
There's a big difference. Charlie Kirk's amazing as well. There's a big difference between having an opinion and being smart and being a lawyer and being a scholar than running a company. And he should have done a better job with managing Candace Owens.
We'll see.
Now he's reaping
We'll see
what
what
he's
happened. But by the way, this isn't the first time Tucker's gone through, controversy that comes with him and what happens. The reality of it is the entire market's talking about it. And that climbs the podcast higher and higher and higher. And more people. Remember, half the time when you're growing your audience, Just look at our comment section. What percentage of our comment section loves us? 100%? Hell no.
I'm looking at all the comments. 100%
Guess
of
what?
people love me, Pat.
Love or hate.
100% of you.
Love or hate, you're watching it. The same thing goes with everybody else. Gang, great podcast. I want to give a quick shout out to Aaron Mont. Happy birthday to Aaron Mont.
Happy birthday,
Aaron Mont, a stud of a guy. We've been having a lot of good content. It was just in Arkansas with them. We had a great time with them. Shout out to the crew back there. You guys running around working. Great
Sin
job.
City
Awesome
in the house.
job here. Ay, Vinny,
Mo. No, Iker.
Hey, por mili.
No,
Great
Guys,
job.
mumbo jumbo.
Yes.
And also a
Seven.
big happy birthday back at the ranch to Casey, the head of finance.
Is it? Is it his birthday
It
today?
is.
My man, Casey. I love it. Okay, guys, we're going to do this again sometime in the next 3 days. We'll do it. And then we'll be going to, I think we'll be paying a visit to L.A. next couple days. Who knows? Maybe we'll go to L.A. for like a couple days. And should we give the exact restaurant we're going to at what time? No, we won't be doing that. But we will be most likely in L.A. in the next couple days visiting a few people. God bless everybody. We'll see you guys again on Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.